Last week on Gleeboot, we talked about the rise and fall of Sylvester, which is much deserved and wasn't a big enough of a fall. But last Christmas, we gave Damien McGinty our heart, and he sang a lot of covers of Christmas songs, and we weren't sure if it was a musical. And a priest hit an evil person with a candy cane, and he was kidnapped by Santa, and Heather Morris was an elf who called herself a damsel in distress, I think. John Rhys Davies was a gangster.
Yeah.
He was a mobster. Yeah. Santa Fe. Fake. Santa Fake.
That's a miss last Christmas.
The fact that you remember that is surprising.
There's a Airbnb, or not Airbnb, B&B, a breakfast. Breakfast run by a Latina woman.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Gleeboot.
And that's connected a little bit to the story that we're going to be talking about today.
Welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee, or in some cases, just making merry for the holidays. I'm Cullen.
Allyssa.
And I'm Hannah.
Welcome. Welcome to that jolly time of year. I'm drinking from a gingerbread mug.
Oh.
And put him in front of my face so he doesn't get blurry. He, inside of him is, I think I drank from him.
Tell us what's inside of him.
I think I drank from this guy for Santa Fe. Inside of him is cider, the last of my apple cider, mixed with vanilla vodka. What's it called? The cinnamon flavored Fireball. Vanilla vodka, Fireball, white rum, and raspberry something.
And cider?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of flavors. What does it taste like? Christmas, or what does it taste like?
It sounds yummy.
It actually tastes like Candlemas, the last day of the Christmas season on February 2nd, where they celebrate the presentation of Jesus and when King Arthur drew his sword from the stone. So
Candlemas.
Mm-hmm. For the candle processions. It was like, if Christmas is like we do mass about Jesus, that's like today we do mass about candles.
M-A-S-S?
M-A-S, like Christmas.
Candlemas, got it.
Yeah, so they used to.
I also thought it was a candle covered in moss.
Well, yeah. I was like, candle, M-O-S-S? Wait, no, he's talking about something that happens at Mass. So maybe it's M-A-S-S?
Because they also used to have St. Michael's Day was Michaelmas. And that was a holiday the peasants had off, but we don't, so. If Ron DeSantis is taking away your rights, you should ask for at least that off, so.
Michaelmas.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I am talking about that people, we've talked about this before, that like the peasants worked less than we did, but I assumed the exchange was like, now we have rights, and they didn't. But like, if we're not getting rights anymore, I don't expect to work the Feast of St. Mary Magdalene. I'm just gonna, yeah. I will be maypole dancing. Sorry.
Maypole dancing.
I mean, we do have to like do all of these strange rituals in order to appease the Fey Lords. So
yes.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some hot cocoa. I did a wardrobe change before, even though this is not going to be video. This is just for you guys. I'm wearing my it's a red shirt that came with some Christmas pajamas. I'm not going to show you the bottoms because they're short shorts.
Scandalous.
And
talk about a maypole. Maypole dancing.
And I'm wearing a beanie. And it's currently 73 in my house because I live in the Midwest. But I am drinking hot cocoa with the almond milk Baileys. It's very good, very cozy.
Mm-hmm. That sounds cozy. I am drinking in honor of Hannah.
Is that a Francis Ford Coppola wine?
It in fact is. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. 2000.
How do you like it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wine. Yeah, it's like not bad wine though.
Yes, it's like it's pretty decent price for what you get.
Yeah, think so. I'm actually going through it pretty quickly, so I might have to like get up and grab the bottle.
Yeah, no, that stuff is like, it's like juice. Like it's
Yeah.
so smooth.
It is very smooth.
Mhm. But still on the drier side, but smooth. Like, which is, I think that's the reason I love it.
And I mean, like, it's saying something that is like a smooth red for money that you can afford.
And pretty much you can get it at pretty much any grocery store, honestly. Like, it's a pretty common brand, so yeah.
I mean, I would ask like what our plans are for the holiday, but it's Thanksgiving weekend, so
Yeah,
those are still a little nebulous.
I mean,
tenuous.
I could tell you I'm staying here.
Oh my gosh,
And then Laszlo's gonna be coming in town like a couple of days after Christmas and staying like around New Year's. So that's why we went to Ohio for Thanksgiving, so that we could be with my dad's family during one of the holidays, and then his family will be coming to us around Christmas. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm going home as I do.
I'm going.
Oh my God, are we gonna be in the same state?
Yes, we are.
Oh
We're
my
gonna be in the
God.
same state.
We may have to do a get together, like a little quick one if you have some time.
Yeah, we'll have to like choose someplace maybe like halfway. Between. because I think Indianapolis is 4 hours away.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
we'll figure
in
something
South
out.
Bend.
Oh, South Bend. That's right.
Yeah.
Or actually, maybe we'll just come all the way up there because we want to go to Lake Michigan. Maybe no, 'cause it'll be Christmas. It'll be cold.
I mean, yeah, but Lake Michigan is really pretty when it's frozen.
Okay, so maybe we will. Okay, we'll talk about it. This is exciting. We're gonna be in the same state for the first time since that time that I came.
Podcast.
Yeah, that time there was a bunch of earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yep. No earthquakes in Indiana, thank goodness.
Yeah, seriously.
This is your reminder to vote in the Glee Keys.
Yes.
We already have over 20 votes.
Wow.
I'm gonna say I realized let's say we're gonna close the poll at the end of the year. This is a 2022 poll.
Yeah, if we're not recording till January, we got time.
Yeah. So please
spread it around to your friends and family. Even if they've never seen Glee, make them take it.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to be like when they look at it and they're like, when would I stop rooting for Rachel?
Exercise your vote. Exercise your right to vote uninformed.
Yes.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Just as long what matters is that you cast a vote.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good message to be sending, but we're saying it anyway.
We're saying it. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Did you know I've met the producer of this movie?
Oh, wait, Lindsay Lohan, who is an executive producer on this film.
So I met the producer, Brad Curvoy, when I worked at Mandalay Pictures. I had recently started and he gave me his phone number. I don't think it was that giving it.
A professional thing.
Yeah, and because I guess I was just that good at getting people tea and coffee. He was like, let's chat. But then I waited too long, I think, to reach out.
Oh.
So then his assistant and I talked and he scheduled something and then he canceled and I was like, I don't want to be weird.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, but let's look at this man's resume. It's actually very huge. So I'm starting in like 2016. Christmas 2016, we have A Wish for Christmas. Every Christmas has a story. I'll Be Home for Christmas. The National Christmas Tree Lighting. Love on Ice, A Royal Winter. Campfire Kiss. Wedding March 2, Resorting to Love. My Favorite Wedding. The Saint. A Christmas Prince. Christmas in Angel Falls.
Wait, A Christmas
Encore.
Prince?
Mm-hmm.
That Christmas Prince?
Yes. Christmas Encore, Christmas Inheritance, My Secret Valentine, Wedding March 3, Here Comes the Bride, Royal Matchmaker, Wedding March 4, Something Old, Something New, The Holiday Calendar, Christmas in Love, The Princess Switch, Return to Christmas Creek, Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe, A Christmas Prince, The Royal Wedding, Winter Love Story, Wedding March 5, My Boyfriend's Back, A Taste of Summer, Holiday in the Wild, The Night Before Christmas, I loved that one with Vanessa Hudgens and a Night, Sense and Sensibility and Snowman, Christmas in Rome, A Christmas Prince, The Royal Baby, Angel Falls, A Novel Holiday, Hallmark Channel's Christmas Concert, A Valentine's March, Country at Heart, Operation Christmas Drop, Too Close for Christmas.
I have a question.
The Princess switched again. We're in 2020
Denied.
now. I'm gonna finish it. A God Wink Christmas, Second Chance, First Love, 5-Star Christmas, The Christmas Waltz, A Sugar and Spice Holiday, A Christmas Carol, Colors of Love, Sweet Carolina, Sealed with a Kiss, Wedding March 6, Torn from Her Arms, The Great Christmas Switch, Christmas Time is Here, The Princess Switch 3, A Kind-Hearted Christmas, A Castle for Christmas, Royally Wrapped for Christmas, Christmas Is You, Jingle Bell Princess, A Lot Like Christmas, The Housewives of the North Pole, A Christmas Miracle for Daisy, When Hope Calls, Hardy's Christmas Present, A Christmas Star, A Christmas Proposal, Toying with the Holidays, Joy for Christmas, Christmas Takes Flight, The Winter Palace, Heat Wave, Harmony from the Heart, Margot, Catering Christmas, Hotel for the Holidays, Falling for Christmas, A Merry Christmas Wish, Candace Cameron Bure presents A Christmas Present, A Brush with Christmas Romance, Candace Cameron Bure presents Christmas on Candy Cane Lane, Irish Wish, Sunday at Christmas, Double Life, Stay for Christmas, Married by Mistake, Fall into Winter, and A Dash of Christmas.
Yes, Hannah.
Why did we read this person's resume?
Because I need you to know that if a movie has Christmas in the title, more than likely this man produced it.
Okay, well, I
Like,
can't
I
speak for any
knew-
of the others, but this one, it's pretty good. I
No.
hate Christmas movies, and I kind of liked
Well,
this.
I enjoy Christmas movies, and I'm a fake fan. I think I've only seen the first 2 Princess Switch movies. Love them. I love A Night for Christmas, where a knight goes back in time from Camelot and stays at Vanessa Hudgens' guest house.
Uh-huh.
And they learn about Christmas, and then he goes back, but he learned the magical lesson, so he ends up living with Vanessa Hudgens in the modern day.
Yeah, I listened to the How Did This Get Made episode on that.
I love that movie. I was alone that Christmas, and I watched it, and I'm like, nice.
I knew that like people in Hollywood got pigeonholed, but I don't think that I've ever seen a more explicit example.
Does this person like Christmas?
Maybe they like Christmas.
I
maybe
hope to God.
They also
Can you imagine if they don't?
That'd be rough. But I mean, they probably just found a niche. People like they have a brand that people respect.
Yep.
They know what they want. They
Christmas
know
movies sell.
Yeah, they're actually people have told me as a writer, it's like you need to write a Christmas movie, and honestly, yeah, because
this made me want to write a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
so I was like, "There's a foundation here."
Okay, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
And here's why I think I liked it is because I enjoyed Lindsay Lohan and Chord Overstreet. Yeah. I think that's why I liked it. It was like I'm buying into this whole concept because of them, and I just surrendered to it.
When I watch a Christmas movie like this, I know what I'm getting into. I open my heart and I'm like, I want the dumbest, cheesiest, chocolatey Christmas cinnamon wish. Shove that in there. And this movie delivered. Like, there's so many things that in a regular movie, I'd be like, that's bad writing or ew. But this, I was like, oh my God, love it. Gold, please, more. No. I'm eating it up.
That's exactly what happened to me. I normally am just like, why would anyone watch a Christmas movie? These are garbage. And this one, I was like, you know what? I'm here to have fun. That's why I wasn't gonna take notes.
Yeah.
But then like 3/4 way through the movie, I texted you guys. I was like, hold on, I'm gonna be late. I need to rewatch the first 20 minutes of this movie because I've cracked this and it's crazy and I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so I ended up taking some notes.
I mean, my dream is to live in a world where each hotel room has a fully furnished Christmas tree.
Has a lazy boy in front of the window.
Yeah, iconic. I love it. I love this universe. I love the Chris universe.
I was honestly expecting a little bit more from a Netflix Christmas movie.
Really?
Have you seen A Princess Switch?
No.
Oh,
have you seen a Netflix Christmas movie?
I watched Claus, which is
that's an animated movie.
Beautiful Christmas movie.
That's different. Live action.
You asked if I watched a Netflix Christmas movie, and I did.
No, but that
one is really high quality, and I recommend it to every single living person.
But that is also Netflix animation Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That was their like first venture. Like they're gonna pull out all the stops. A live action Christmas movie, generally,
it's purely for capitalism.
It's just purely like
That's why I don't watch them.
Yeah, it's like you put this on at Thanksgiving because they're like, please, we don't want Fox News on. Can we put this on?
This is the neutral thing to put on at
it's for
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Everyone enjoys it. It's just kind of on. You laugh.
No, I don't think anyone enjoys it. I don't think anyone actually watches it. It's literally just there to be on in the background.
No, I sit there with my cousins and we drink and we watch it and we have a great time. And it's like, it's both like, you're like, yeah, Vanessa Hudgens, bake that gingerbread house. Like, you're like, why do I care? Because Vanessa Hudgens making a gingerbread house. That's why I care. I don't need any other reason. It's pure Christmas camp.
I think I would be okay with it being Christmas camp if I hadn't seen so many mistakes.
But that's part of what makes it camp.
I can't.
That's part of the charm. Is that like,
no, it's not. You cannot tell
we're all
me
here for a good
the continuity issues
are
part of the charm. I'm sorry. What?
I noticed zero continuity issues.
What?
Yeah, I was just like,
this is insane.
I was living my best Christmas life. I was Herbie the dentist. You know,
I think the most glaring one was extremely obvious. Tell me you saw it, Hannah.
The one where she's putting the pillow down 7 times, like when she makes the bed at the fancy hotel.
That is not what I'm referring to.
Oh, that is true. She does have to keep putting
it's literally 4 times, I think. And I was like, I love this.
Pillow, yeah.
They just are like, she's like, I don't know how to actually make a bed. They're like, it's okay, Lindsay. Just pick up this pillow and put it down 4 times. That'll be enough. No one will notice. This is a Christmas movie. No one's paying attention. They're all getting drunk with their family members.
You're eating a deviled egg right now. You're not paying attention to continuity.
The one that very glaringly was in my face was when she sees the raccoon in the window, falls backwards over the chair, and the curtain falls to the floor. And then he walks in the room and the curtain's back up and the chair is back up and she's standing, staring out the empty window. I can't listen.
Bothered. St. Nicholas did not drop that dowry down the chimney so those girls didn't have to be prostitutes for me to care about a chair flipping in a Christmas movie where he's also kind of a character.
Well, you know what? He dropped a thing down to whatever he said. And I care still.
Okay, let's talk about this movie.
All right.
Let's just do it. Let's
fall for Christmas and Lindsay Lohan and Chord Overstreet.
Never watch this movie again. I decided before we recorded, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be happy. That's what I decided because we've been watching Glee and I'm so tired of being angry all the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice because I want Christmas gifts from Santa Claus.
I was listening to Child Star today, our most recent episode that came out, and I'm like,
did I scream a lot?
No, I was like, I am such a bitter bitch. I am so pissed at this episode. I am ranting about the diet industry in America, like for a solid hour.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
I mean, albeit that episode is like probably the top 10 worst, one of the top 10 worst episodes of Glee. Yes. I'll say it. But still, it's like, we're so, like, Glee's tired, we are tired. Like, Glee is slouching towards Bethlehem, and so are we. And this movie was fun.
Speaking of Glee and Glee music, Darren Criss, opening number.
Song, yeah. I was like, is that Darren?
Chord Overstreet, I think, has a number that appears somewhere throughout the film.
Yes, I heard it. The song didn't even finish. Scene didn't even finish. I was opening up Spotify, putting that on my Christmas playlist.
Wow.
I didn't realize that was Darren Criss.
Me either.
I remember the first song though. I remember that. It was a bop.
I Googled the soundtrack because at the end it is Lindsay Lohan singing and there was someone doing like a rap and I was like, is that Chord Overstreet? But it's not. I thought it was. And I was like, oh, that would have been amazing.
He did rap in Stereo Hearts. That was the one time it wasn't Artie, it was Chord.
Literally cannot be bothered to remember.
That's when they are outside in Valentine's Day giving Rachel.
Oh, and there's no snow.
And there's no snow, and Mercedes Church Choir is there. We're meeting Joe Hart.
Yes, that's right.
Dreads. Alyssa's mom's favorite Glee character.
Really?
I remember that.
She was his MV, or he was her MVP. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
Let's
okay. Let's
talk
fall
about
under
it.
this winter spell. Lindsay Lohan is back. This movie was
Her
promo.
triumphant return to acting.
Triumphant. It was promoted on October 3rd, Mean Girls Day.
A few Mean Girls references. Well,
Singing
at
Jingle
least
Bell
one.
Rock. Yeah.
Well, I also think the memory book that we'll talk about, I was like, put it in the burn book, Katie. Put it in the burn book. And I was like,
You
I was
are a
gonna, like,
mean elf.
uh,
I'm surprised they haven't done an elf. Oh my gosh, maybe that's my Christmas movie. Mean
What?
Girls, but with like Christmas elves.
elves. I love this. So she lives this luxurious life,
She's a Paris Hilton. spoof.
which they squashed their beef apparently.
They
'cause
did
they
squash
had
their beef.
long-standing beef.
They did. Oh, you think my husband has not
Oh,
on the
no, of
road to
course.
Vegas given me like a hour-long discussion of the beef in various forms between Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, and Hilary Duff? Yeah, that's like my Marie Antoinette, Princess de Lamballe, Duchess de Polignac, that drama. That's for him, Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, Paris Hilton. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the same.
You're like, I know this story.
Enthralling.
Yeah.
Alyssa's like cleaning her nails.
She's like,
she's unfazed.
Checked out.
She's in her Winter Warlock era from the Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Yes.
Listen, I love Christmas. Okay? I love it.
She will not have it disrespected. This
I
is
have
the war
high
on Christmas.
standards
Yeah.
for Christmas content.
I love Christmas, and so I'm like, yeah, slap a bow and a red gnome on it, and I'm like, I'm here.
I don't care about Christmas, and I don't like Christmas content. The only time I will be listening,
your Silent Night so low and your church choir.
I'm not bitter. I'm over it. It's fine.
I'm not.
Okay, I have many things to say about this opening sequence. First of them is Lindsay Lohan in this movie is a good person. She's not the evil rich girl. She has a sad life. And yes, maybe I don't really feel bad for rich people, but also she does have a pretty sad life. Yeah, she's very lonely.
People said she was unlikable, like when I heard people talking about this movie, and so I was expecting her to be like really mean, and I was like,
she's not.
She's not mean. She's not even unlikable. She's just at the beginning, you don't connect with her because I think she's like,
yes, she's so
at a different level.
Yes,
she's in
like
her Muffy from Arthur energy.
She's out of reach, right? Like but she's not mean. She's and like I connect with her in the fact that like obviously like her boyfriend fucking sucks, and she's talking about how she like doesn't want to work for her dad because she wants to do her own thing and she wants to figure that out.
Yeah,
it's like that's something I can understand for sure.
Yeah, I think
but like she's not unlikable.
She's no. I mean,
but I don't like her yet.
The one thing I'll say is that this definitely feels like a plot, like like of a 22-year-old more than someone in their 30s, of
mid-30s.
Yeah. But you know what? Again, it's the genre.
Yeah.
Of like big city. There's only so many variations of like hotshot woman, and like we've done the business girl boss route.
Right.
So many
She's
times.
Not even a hotshot woman. She's more like a warm piece of dough.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I think it's like
she's
like
sugar cookie dough that you're gonna decorate.
I just Christmas trees and I just get this weird like unbaked, but has been in the proofer for a while. So you're waiting to bake her. She's waiting to have her defining moment.
She has all the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's waiting for maybe love. You know, maybe that's what's gonna inspire
love is gonna
her.
And turn her
or
into
Christmas,
delicious
you
Christmas
know.
cookie.
Maybe it's Christmas.
Maybe love and Christmas.
Yeah.
Correct. Right answer.
This is the weirdest analogy, but
Um,
okay.
But like, I was gonna say, I am surprised she wasn't an influencer already. Like they talk about influencing as like it's a new thing, and I'm like, I feel like you're an influencer.
They also say that being an influencer isn't a business thing. I was like, oh, it absolutely is a business. People make tons of money. They literally will like start companies. Like it's definitely a business.
No
But
one
anyway.
wants to work anymore.
But yeah, it is kind of weird that she's not an influencer, but she also kind of seems like, I don't know, she doesn't really seem like she wants to be famous.
No, she's not the girl from the Vine. She's not. I want to be famous.
Yeah, she's not me.
She
feels kind of sheltered.
Yes.
Yeah.
She kind of feels like she may have been like, no offense, Cullen, but like homeschooled. So like she just doesn't talk to people because she accepts Tad or Todd, whichever. Tad. She accepts like the way he treats her. It's like, has she never had a friend? I don't think she's ever left the hotel.
Well, we don't even see her with any friends. Like,
yeah.
And she doesn't interact with any of the staff in like a normal human being way.
Well, that's because she's rich.
Well,
yeah.
But
she could be really mean.
She's just kind of like,
and respect.
Maybe she went to like, you know how Paris Hilton went to like that really traumatizing abusive school?
Yeah, maybe they went to the same school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like she's just like very disconnected.
Yeah, she's just kind of like they're all, it's, you know, it's very Marie Antoinette. I don't know. It's giving like, Marie Antoinette was actually very good at connecting with people, so maybe not. But like, she's like kind of sitting there.
Let
and
them eat
like,
cake.
Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser. Obviously worked for her. Never said it, clarifying. But like, everyone is just kind of like they give her champagne and they're like making her up or whatever, and she's just
champagne at conservatively 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yeah,
she's
no judgment, but also it's 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get her drunk.
Orange juice in it. If you put orange juice in it, that's fine.
There's
but just champagne.
A drop of orange juice.
It's a tiny little dropper, a thimble, if you will. No, like they're like, it's like they're like she's like a princess in a tower. She has all these people around her, and she is like being given alcohol at 9 a.m. to like, they're like putting her in this trance. I mean, obviously, like I'm definitely like digging way too into this character, but there are like little bits of this that it's not overdone. It's just like very like, these are a lot of things you can pull out of this scene.
She doesn't realize her boyfriend's gay.
Okay, bisexual, by erasure, Cullen.
Yes, hello, thank you.
No, I mean, I saw that man and I said, I heard
that
the
is
sound,
a gay man.
The denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. You know that sound on like TikTok?
No, I don't. I am Lindsay Lohan. I'm disconnected from social media. No, I was like, he's definitely after her for her money and like her fame, but she doesn't want to be famous, and she doesn't really seem like she's that kind of hotel heiress.
I get that from him. I didn't understand why
he was with her.
I think he might subconsciously be after the money. I don't think he's super malevolent.
Right.
No, I think he's just like, oh, like she's hot and rich.
He's an influencer. Yeah, he just wants her.
Yeah,
not for
that's
her
what
money,
I was getting.
For the money from being an influencer, because it is a business.
Or not even money, just like he wants
the fame
to be with her because she would be a good addition to his influence. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great Studio C, or I think it was at one point when they did the mommy vlogger characters. They eventually did a miniseries of them, but it was like they were talking about like brand. Like I saw my husband and I'm like, I heard him speak and I said, ew. But then I looked at him and I was like, fits the brand. So I married him.
Oh my God.
So yeah, no, I was like, this man could be into women. I was like, this man is bisexual. Okay. That's what yeah.
I was very on the bisexual train as well.
Yeah.
Men can be effeminate.
Men can be effeminate, but he was way more into that lumberjack than anyone else in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like,
I want them to go full
say.
Brokeback Mountain. I wanted them to lean into it.
That's immediately what I was thinking too.
Yeah. But they didn't, and I was really disappointed.
Because but anyway. Yeah, I don't know his whole life. I just know the the vague amount of time that this movie took place over.
You say he was more into the lumberjack than anyone else in the movie. He's the only one who had contact with the lumberjack in this movie.
No, but he was.
Some of the police officers did.
No, but he was
That's
more into
true.
the lumberjack than Lindsay Lohan or Terry or anyone else. That's what I mean.
Super surprised that you remembered the hotel person's name.
Terry's the assistant.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry.
Yeah.
So
Right.
okay, we're getting derailed. So we understand her character. What else is new?
So she's they put her in like a fancy suit or a fancy little red
pantsuit, and she has a slow-mo motion moment. What happens before that though?
So they're skiing.
Oh yeah, we meet her dad and Chord Overstreet.
Yeah. Rafa saw him and was like, "That guy's really hot," and I'm like, "I know."
Glee.
He walked in front of me at
100%.
the hotel cafe when I left the bathroom, and I was like,
Yeah. He also has the same haircut that he had in season 6 of Glee, except it's blonde now.
Yeah.
And it looks better blonde.
Chord Overstreet was given 3 directed notes from the director. 3 words.
Okay.
Sexy dad flannel.
Absolutely. Sexy flannel dad.
Sexy flannel dad.
Sexy flannel dad. Absolutely.
There we go.
And he delivered. He understood the assignment.
Yeah, he ate that up. He lived it. He breathed it.
Mm-hmm. I think he was happy to get a full script and not just a treatment to work off. Yes.
So there were some like background moments that were like, okay, that's very, very Sam, which I guess is just very Chord.
Yeah.
It was interesting because when I saw him at the beginning, I was not expecting him to be a dad. But then when I saw him with the daughter, I was like, oh yes, I get behind this 100%. Yes. He's a dad.
Yeah.
I would believe that Sam was a dad. A 35-year-old dad, because he just has those vibes very naturally, and I don't mean that in like a slanderous way.
He's 35 at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
like he's a little younger than Lindsay, but not like it's not like like by like a few years.
So he owns the North Star, which is not where the thing that guided
Belmont
the 3
hotel.
Yeah, the dad owns the Belmont. Literally thought this. I must have missed the dad's name being Beauregard.
It's Beauregard, yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, this man's name is Belmont. And that's one of the reasons why I watched the first part of the movie again, because I was like, no, that's not his name. It's Beauregard Belmont. Yeah. But anyway. So
someone definitely Googled rich person names.
So he meets Chord Overstreet on like the ski hill.
He called the assistant 15 times. Poor assistant.
Yeah, seriously. But he basically is going to give him like this business proposal, but he proves himself on the ski hill.
Yeah. And
this is an excellent way to use the sport of skiing to build character. I loved that. I was very into it. And Dad is impressed.
Yeah,
he's very impressed. He's like, okay, you have my time.
Yeah.
Well, but he's not impressed by the fact that he like was good at skiing. He was impressed by the fact that he was good at skiing, but he still let the other guy win.
Yes.
Smart tactics.
But yes. And also the fact that he was persistent. I think that this was like a way to show that he's persistent, that he's gonna I don't know.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I should call that producer again.
Like, do you want to go skiing?
I see you value persisting.
Yeah, and I'd be like, just want to prove to you that I saw your movie and loved it.
I also have never skied before in my life. So they ski, and then he's like, okay, we're in the locker room, give me your business proposal. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, like, you know, like people, when they start skiing, they're more likely to go to a low budget resort, you know, before they move to the high budget. So that keeps your influx. So it's like, give us money for like a sauna and, you know, a couple improvements. And then that'll really kind of build our business, which will build yours. I don't know if that's real, but I believed it. And then the dad was like, sorry, I have to answer to my investors.
Because the only thing it's not that he doesn't respect that idea. The proposal is invest in my business to invest in your business. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it seems he respects that idea, but he was like, can't, my hands are tied.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't really believe about this whole business situation was that, you know, there's, how do I put this?
But
like
it's not a snow
there's
globe factory.
I mean, correct. But like there's definitely different classes of people, and there's a class of
Yes.
people who go skiing and would not be able to afford that fancy ski resort, and
Yep.
would like, I don't know why Chord's business was flopping, because I feel like there's a market for that, but they just
Yeah.
needed they needed to be like, it's not working.
And I would actually argue on top of that when people find a ski resort that they like, they get to know the people and then they want to stay there. In fact,
Yeah.
I know that to be a thing that happens because my friend Christine, who was famously on the podcast, she's a ski instructor and she started at a specific resort when she was little. And it's not, like a super fancy place from what I understand, but she stayed there and she became an instructor. Like she had been there for a long time. And so had most of the people that go there. So it's like, I feel like that is definitely super logical.
So
that,
I'm
like,
wondering.
also, but Chord also has, okay, I have a couple of problems with this logically.
Well, okay, what is his actual name? Because we keep calling him Chord.
Jake Russell.
We will be
Russell.
calling them Chord and Lindsay, but it's
Sorry.
Sierra Belmont and Jake
Sierra
Russell.
/ Sarah, which
Yeah.
I have questions about what's happening now when they find out her name is Sierra. But anyway, also isn't Sarah close enough to Sierra that she maybe like trigger her own name? Who knows? I guess not. But the fact that he's like studies show, okay, that means he researched this. Perhaps he could have researched, just Googled ways to improve my bed and breakfast resort business. And the first thing that would have come up is online reservations. Online reservations, social media marketing. And he's like, I need to get investments from the rich guy in town. And I'm like, Chord, there's such an easier way to do this. Is actually kind of cost effective.
The internet doesn't exist,
and it's
going to
save grandma.
Time.
Grandma's going to save some time. She gets to do other things. She doesn't have to constantly be waiting for the phone to call.
Yeah.
Her aunt's
Mhm.
ring.
That's
the word.
That's how
it's been a long time since I've had a real phone.
It's been 84 years. Yeah.
And then the other thing is that, like, I don't know. It just feels like he did this research and that's what he landed on as a business idea. And it's like, you can modernize in cost-effective ways. It feels like a bit of a stretch. And especially he also mentioned Airbnb later. And I was like, okay, well, what does Airbnb have over you? Online reservations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but I saw The Barbarian. You could have a creepy murder dungeon beneath your Airbnb.
Yeah, but they're also not like a
wow.
traditional Airbnb, like, Airbnb, not a regular B&B. Got it.
Yeah, Airbnb.
Well, I mean, Airbnbs, they have
Was
a
there
lot of
someone
problems
waiting in the murder dungeon, or is it like for guest use?
Oh, there was multiple people in that dungeon.
That's it. Now that's a movie idea, that you have an Airbnb that's specific. Oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. Oh,
Fun,
I kind
right?
of like this idea. Okay, Alyssa, we have to talk about this movie idea that we need to write.
Let's get on it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But okay, it is good Christmas law that you need a struggling bakery, snow globe shop,
absolutely,
whimsy churner, whatever business that is it's been in the family and
but does it have to be like
business.
Does it have to be a vague going out of business, or could you possibly have a catastrophe happen, or is that too much for a Christmas show?
That's a high budget, you know.
Well,
I mean, but you can just like talk about a catastrophe that already happened.
I definitely think that is possible. I think because
but there's like
catastrophes, small businesses suffer
the
most. Like they're one of the part of the population that suffers the most. And so like I definitely think that like a large corporation that survived it, they had the money to rebuild, but their Airbnbs just isn't quite the same anymore. But this is my other thing, is that Chord Overstreet also has regular people that seem to come to this resort all the time, which is great. He also, it seems like he didn't raise his prices, and he was taking a lot of stuff at cost and doing things.
We find that out much later in the film.
I was like,
so it's like, I don't know, raise your prices a little bit slowly over time. Anyway,
it kind of sounds like he's not very good at running a business.
And I was like, maybe you shouldn't have this. Maybe that's what Lindsay's gonna do.
It operates under the Bedford Falls Building and Loan rules. It is a Christmas business. It is based on goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does pay off in the end.
It does pay off because you're a good
But they really
person,
struggled and stressful.
Yeah.
So, okay.
At least
so
he didn't have a scene where he was yelling at his kids.
Can we get into the meet cute?
Oh,
which
yeah.
is comical.
Not so cute, but comical. So he
Comical
has hot
the fact that
cocoa.
there's not enough hot cocoa on that haute couture. Can we talk about that? It
Yeah.
gets all over him, and there's just like a tiny little thing of whipped cream on her.
I
boob.
know. I was kind of like, that's a subversion. It's on him. And then I was like, oh no.
It's not.
That man is burning. Burn, baby,
Yeah.
burn. It is.
And to be fair, it was his fault. He took the lid off. Like, what? Don't ever take the lid off.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't look that closely.
That's something people do in movies. See, my critique with Christmas movies is men especially, but everyone does this. They walk around with their coat unbuttoned.
Oh, yeah. That's insanity.
Who has spent roughly maybe 10% of my life trying to look sexy in the wintertime. Like just
only
10%.
Well, not like nailed it. You eventually nailed it.
Yeah, I eventually because like 10% of my
got a
total
giant puffer
lifetime,
coat and still you're just like, oh yeah, these are my muscles.
Yeah, 10% of my total lifetime brain power devoted to that. Yeah, okay. So that's a high number. You can't do it. You can try. You're like, oh, this will be fine. You're like, no, I'm cold. The air's getting in. This coat is basically useless.
I need to wear as many layers as possible. I need to look
like
I am apple shaped.
It depends on the actual temperature, whether there's wind chill.
I saw that snow.
Cullen is shaking his head at me, but I am a polar bear, okay? And I sometimes open my coat because I'm too hot in the winter, so it's possible.
Yeah, I felt too hot. But yeah, if that temperatures that we're seeing, that much snow. No.
Yeah, it's cold.
Santa is gusting wishes here, left and right.
Because Tad is walking around that fucking lobby and being like so vain. He's like, oh, I'm by a poster that just matches my jacket.
Yes, because Tad is trying to find Lindsay and Lindsay's trying to find Tad, and they're on the phone together.
Because they could not. People in Christmas movies don't sleep together.
No, God,
not before they are wed.
That's not Christian.
Because you need to put it because grandma needs to be able to watch this with everyone. So they're
Well, I don't know.
I love a genre.
Maybe not grandma. Maybe they're thinking about the kids and not grandma. Because grandma knows what's up.
Yeah. Grandma's like.
I mean, it depends on your grandma.
That's true.
But I mean, I love a genre convention. So that thing, I'm not even complaining. I accept the rules of the game and we're playing it. And
whether Alyssa likes it or not.
And so yeah, they're like trying to find each other on the phone, and I'm like, oh, TBT. And then they meet cute, they crash into each other.
Tad, Chord and
Lindsay, they Dave Matthews Band crash into me. And the hot chocolate burns all that man's skin. All through his clothes. And then it like a little smudge of like whipped cream gets on her Balenciaga. Is that a real brand?
I have no idea.
I thought they were saying Balenciaga, but I don't think they were. It was
started with a V because I was watching with
Valentini or something like that. Valentini. It was something really weird. I didn't recognize.
I'm poor. I don't know if it's. I don't know what brands are.
I know some of the major ones, and that's it.
I know House of Gucci because of Lady Gaga
and her Russian accent. So yeah, this happens, and Chord is escorted out by security.
They're like this way. He's like, watch the pointing.
Yeah, watch the finger.
Watch the finger.
So basically, they go to brunch, presumably with Papa. And listen, I just have to say, this father, he's a good dad. He just wants what's best for her. He just wants her to be happy. Mm-hmm. And he is rolling his eyes at Tad, and I love it. And he's calling him Ted, and I loved that.
I was kind of expecting the dad to be more of an antagonist.
Yes.
And then this scene, I was like, oh, we're not going with that. Look at this.
No.
Twists in the genre.
He's just a better businessman than Chord is.
He just has generational wealth. I mean,
well, you don't know that. We don't know that for sure.
We don't know that for sure.
He built it up from the ground up.
But his name's Beauregard,
which would explain things. I
If
mean,
you're
maybe
poor, you legally
you're
cannot be
named-
named Beauregard.
Maybe
if you're
change his
named
name.
Beauregard, he was like, you know, my status doesn't fit my name. I have to
Yeah.
move up.
Yeah.
So it is okay. Speaking, I was describing this movie to my friends because they're asking, like, do we need to watch this for shitty movie night? And I'm like, I'll watch this again. This is a great time. But I was explaining, I was like, the magic of Christmas helps upper class girl get together with a upper middle class boy because
Yes.
he's
not poor.
he
No.
inherited a ski resort.
From his father-in-law, from his
Yeah.
Yeah.
from his in-laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically dad is sitting there rolling his eyes, and
they're trying to explain social media being an influencer.
yeah, what is this purpose of the scene? Like, and I watched it twice, she's like saying, like, she basically convincing her dad to like be into Tad, just be like, yeah, Tad's awesome, and he's literally like sitting there on his phone.
Yeah.
And he's the worst.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the purpose of the scene is.
I mean, I
like,
don't think it really moved the plot
in the
forward,
coffee
but there was
shop of
some
life,
character stuff that
he's
we
a
learned.
Venti.
Yeah, he did
Mhm.
say that. Because
And I
at
hated
first, he's asking how they met, and I was like, wait, they met in a coffee shop? And then I was like, nope. I mean, I think it was character development. This was
Yeah,
But
we
it's less
learned
than-
we learned character information.
Less
But
than we learned the
not a
father-daughter
lot.
relationship, that clearly he has nothing wrong with his daughter. He has no qualms with her. They seem
He
to
just
have
wants
a
to
good
take care of
relationship.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he
And-
wants to give her a job, the VP of Atmosphere.
When she's on the phone with Tad at the beginning, she's like, I can't just like tell my dad I don't want the job. He did this for me. I don't want to hurt his feelings. Like,
Yeah.
they clearly care for each other.
Yeah.
It's not like my dad will be so mad at me. It's like I don't want to hurt his
Yeah.
feelings. So
Yeah.
I
we
mean,
get
like,
more
this
of
was
that
the
relationship.
this was the scene where we learned that he's not even really an antagonist for her either. Like,
Yes.
because I was kind of getting those vibes when they were on the phone, the way she was describing stuff. But then
Right.
at this scene, you're like, no, not really.
So
he's just wants more for her.
Yeah. And so he's off to do some business stuff, some meetings, some emails. And she is like, hey, I'm going off with Tad. She tells Terry, the hotel assistant, her temporary assistant, don't bother me while I'm off with Tad. She gets dressed up in this purple muff outfit, which is inspired by, okay, Rafa showed me what movie he thinks it's from. But like a 2000s Lindsay Lohan movie with truly awful, horrendous, but yeah.
Oh,
iconic
see, I thought
fashion.
the pink and black, like before she puts on the puff thing, the pink and black, I was like, oh, is that a reference to her house party outfit? Probably not. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but anyway.
They're driving.
Remind me to never ever tell anyone not to bother me while I'm doing a thing.
Right? Like, please tell people where you go. Like,
you can bother me, and I will just screen your call probably if I don't want to answer.
You will not bother me if I tell
No.
you. Like, I just please tell people where you go, people.
Yeah.
Even if it's a secret, just tell at least one person.
I'm going with Tad, and then he takes you to a place that you didn't know that you were going to. Yeah, that's kind of a problem though.
I did some shit back in the day.
No,
I can't.
Year, I couldn't. I could not. So anyway, Tad rolls up with a fucking what's it called? A ski-doo?
Snowmobile?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like driving
Snowmobile.
terribly too. She's like, I'll be safe. I'm with Tad. And then he's
Yeah.
like,
he almost runs a pedestrian over.
Yeah.
yeah.
He does. Hit the snowmobile trailer, runs over one of the
someone's
bellhop's foot.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
valet's foot. And I was like, oh my God, that's literally a lawsuit right there.
Yeah.
That guy, workman's comp right there.
Yeah. So they're driving through. She's singing along to Jingle Bell Rock because she loves that song. And then
reference
he's like,
to Mean Girls.
Reference to Mean
He
Girls.
says she's pitchy. And I was like, fuck you, Tad.
And she's
Yeah.
not pitchy.
No.
She's
Also,
just fine.
Car karaoke is a safe space.
Absolutely. Absolutely a safe space. Also, the dial is like the computer screen. There's no actual, so she's like They're like doing the circles on the.
Yeah.
It was disturbing. And then Tad changes it to All Out of Love, and then she sadly looks out the window, and I was like, "This is so depressing." Like, yes,
It's
And then
really
I thought
weird.
Tad
This-
was going to be the antagonist.
yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't really happen
There's
either.
no true antagonist.
Oh, I disagree. This, okay, we will talk about this. It is all that little girl's fault.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
she did set the plot in motion, yes.
Well, technically,
But she's
okay,
not an
actually,
antagonist. She leads them closer to their goals.
Yes, but it is her fault. But it's
Yeah,
actually
okay, yeah.
Santa's fault. Okay. Yes, you know what? No, you're right. I should say it is Santa Claus's fault.
Yes.
So they're up on this mountain. Tad's like, let's take some ussies. And I died.
Yeah. My
Because-
dad calls them, I think, a them selfie.
A them fee? Let's take a them fee. Better than ussie. Okay. You put a B in front of that and you got something
Yo,
that's really
When he
inappropriate.
said ussy, and I was like, in my good Christian Christmas movie.
Right? So anyway. But so they're up there. He gives her the ugliest engagement ring. I'm sorry, that thing
It's
was
like
nasty.
yellow.
It's yellow. I was
piss
like,
yellow.
yellow snow,
Huge.
no go for yellow snow.
Listen,
No go for yellow
I
diamonds.
like yellow diamonds. I like
Really?
them. I do.
But that
they
one's
have to
ugly.
be that one was ugly. It's too
Yeah.
big. I don't like huge rocks.
Mm-mm.
I don't care how much they
Yeah,
worth.
unless
They
it's Dwayne,
have to
yeah.
look nice, and that did not look nice.
I would return it and take whatever's left after buying a new one and
That
buy myself
does
like an
not
iPad or
mean-
something.
It does not mean that I'm going to settle for a ring that's worth nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
future person out there.
Don't listen to this and think that I'm giving you an okay to buy a fake diamond. Unless, of course, it's not in your budget.
Diamonds Are Forever is the most successful marketing campaign of all time because now we can't get married without them. Whereas
I don't.
before,
Well,
most people
I
didn't.
don't really need a diamond, but maybe like a sapphire. I like
Yeah.
sapphires.
Yeah, something unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that's why I like yellow diamonds. I
'Cause
think
they're
they're prettier
different.
than pretty much.
Mhm.
yeah, they're not my thing. But that ring was so ugly, and
Well,
it's also
she's-
too big
It's too
for
Yeah.
her.
big. She
It's
says it
really too
doesn't
big.
fit. Which that's what happened when Rafa gave me the promise ring, which became an engagement ring, which became a wedding ring. It was too big, and then I like tried to wear it on different fingers, and it kept falling off. So we ended up with the ring I have now, which I actually like better.
You didn't get it resized, or could you not get it resized?
They're like the thing is you can get it resized, but like it'll get like a little warped. They're like it was kind of like
Well, because if you resize down, you have to cut it.
yeah.
Oh,
If you
so I don't-
resize
And
up,
it
you
had,
just
like-
stretch the metal.
And it had like
Oh.
diamonds kind of in it, and I kind of like that this doesn't
Oh.
have diamonds because diamonds
Got
are a
it.
girl's best friend. I'm a boy.
Wow, I love that. So they're up on the top
Like
of this
Chord
fucking
Overstreet
mountain.
in this Christmas movie. So they're on top of this mountain because he's like, oh, this person geotagged it. He does not know where they're going, and he zooms past a sign that says like danger, danger, danger. Big
Yep.
Looney Tunes energy. Love
Do
it.
not
Acme
pass
Factory.
go. And then, okay, another continuity error here. I mean, it's not really continuity, but I was definitely wondering why there were tracks in that area of the danger. Do not go there.
Oh.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
These are all very small things that you could fix in post. I think that's why I was so into them, because I was like, oh, I could have fixed that for you. We
Yeah.
could have done
Brad.
this.
Hi, Allyssa.
So I guess we should kind of cut then back to small town.
Yeah. I think it's called Summit Heights.
Yeah, that
Summit
sounds about
Heights?
right.
Summit was the name of my high school soccer team.
So
Thanks for the memories, even though they
we
weren't so
meet-
great. Yeah.
we meet Chord Overstreet's family. What was grandma's name?
Alejandra.
And then what's the little girl's name? I don't know their names.
What is this girl's name?
I only call them by their actors'
Um,
names. So
I can see her face and her cute
Yeah.
little curly
Here's-
hair, but
Here's what I'll say about this girl. Adorable. And this is, again, trope of the genre.
Yep.
But they always cast, it's usually a girl with dark curly hair, usually a young girl of color in these movies. and she not maybe just at least in the Vanessa Hudgens ones, at least in the Princess Switch franchise in this one. Okay. But like they're always that the actor is always slightly older than the character is supposed to be. So it's like a 12-year-old playing like an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old. So there are times where I'm like, why is this girl acting? And then
I
I'm
read
like,
her
okay.
as like an 8 to 10-year-old. I think 6 is a
really?
little young.
Yeah, because
I
mean,
read her as like 11, but maybe that's because
well, that the actress looked 11. The
Yeah.
actress that was could have been an 11-year-old human being.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like she's trying to play 8 to 10.
But they're trying to play her younger because like her like whimsy and like she like the way she claps and it's like supposed to be a little younger.
Yeah.
You know.
So we meet her. Chord Overstreet's back from doing the business meeting. He's like getting shit ready, and
he's
grandma
sat at the desk.
and little girl.
He's at the desk with the green binder and the angel.
No, that's after. Because they come out and they're like, hey, we're gonna go to the thing that my dead mom used to take me to.
Carla, know her name.
Yeah. We love a dead mom in this. I was just gonna say we love a dead mom, and I was gonna be like, so I kept making this joke to myself. Again, the only people I have to entertain are my dog and my cat, and so I was talking to myself out loud and also to them, and I was like, oh my god, what if this woman was like, yeah, she had like heart disease and cancer, and she died in a terrible car accident.
Her name is Abby. Abby.
I knew it was like
Avy.
I knew it ended in a Y. It always does. It's always like Stacy, Jenny.
Anyway,
Abby spelled Avy.
They're gonna go to this wishing tree. It's basically a Christmas tree that they put wishes on.
Which they used to have one of those at my church, but it worked like kids in the community would write a thing of what they wanted, and then you would pick it up. And
yes, it's a charity thing, not like a put a good wish out there and maybe it'll come true.
Is that what they're called? Wishing trees?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
I was young.
It was. I don't know what they called it. It was some sort of like
giving. Is it the giving tree? No, that's
the giving.
I made that reference on a different thing. Yeah, no, it's. I don't remember what it's called. Some sort of like I don't remember what they called it, but anyway.
And so they're there. Santa Claus is there. I will say something the genre has been failing on is lately the Santas not looking Santa enough for me. Beards are too short.
Okay.
But he's trying to blend in. He's giving Santa aesthetics, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he's like a normal grandpa type person, but he's definitely like in the Santa-esque color scheme.
Yeah. And I think he's trying to blend in a little more. I think he's trying to be not so obvious, and I think maybe that's a change in the genre that they want to be a little more tongue in cheek, even though we know that's Santa.
We know it's Santa.
But he does a little bewitched
that
moment.
help those girls pay their dowry.
He wiggles his nose. So like this little girl, she makes her wish. Grandma does too.
I straight up thought the note said, like, as it just flashed for a second, I thought it said, "I want a new mom."
I don't know. I didn't even see that there was even a flash of a note, but I was like, that little girl just wished for a new mom.
Yeah, I did not see the note.
It like floated up in the air. I didn't see
Santa's
what it
like,
said.
I don't make those at my factory, but let's see what I can do. Let's see if there's any women I can swoop into your
Yes! He sends a snowstorm on top of the mountain where Lindsay Lohan and Tad are taking ussies of their new engagement, and it blows them apart, and they both tumble down a mountain.
This whole movie doesn't have any magic except for this.
Christmas
Iconic.
Magic.
Love it.
The magic of Christmas, obviously.
Yeah,
the magic of
most
love.
Of these have these one magical element, like a knight is just suddenly transported.
I can't.
You got this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, use your side teeth. You got this. Nice.
I got it.
Excellent.
Boom.
I have to do that with those too. Those are some strong corks. Yeah. So he literally. There was a big chance that she could have died. Both of them could have died.
How many times has a woman died like every Christmas for the past 2 years?
And there are so many girls and little boys out there who are like, I just want a new mom for Christmas. And Santa's like, I think I got this one. Wiggles his nose. And he's like, I think
comes into the
Lindsay is really resilient. She'll make it through this.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So it's technically that little girl's fault. She wished for a new mom. That's it's a bold ask.
all magic comes at a price.
Because how else is
Well,
that
I
going
was
to happen
thinking,
besides a
okay,
woman being
does
kidnapped by
anyone
magic?
know what the note actually said? Because I thought they never showed it. I was thinking like, oh, I want
no,
my
it was
dad
like
to be happy.
Well, she
No,
said that she wished for someone for him to love.
And
Okay.
to take care of her.
Similar.
So she did admit that she wished for a new mom. But no, the actual note, it just kind of flutters up in the air, but you can't actually see what it says. I mean,
I just saw it for the briefest of moments.
If you go frame by frame, you might be able to.
Okay, that's, like one of the things that I would say is not a great choice.
I agree.
Cinematically.
But so Lindsay Lohan tumbles down this fucking mountain. She hits a tree right into head first into it. And this is where Chord, he's on a little ski or a little sled trip with a couple.
He's taking this couple. They're nervous about the sled because it's kind of falling apart.
Well, she's not. She's like, you're being a wimp.
Yeah. And they are singing Jingle Bells.
And they're like, is it a dead body?
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, it kind of is. It probably should have been. She should not have survived that, but
Christmas magic.
But Lindsay's resilient.
Thanks, baby Jesus. Yeah. And so he like comes up and is like, they're like, is it a dead body? And he is not answering. He's like, fuck. Because then they're not gonna come back because they saw a dead
Don't
body.
answer that question.
So they're she's at the hospital, and she is she's been kind of a terror to this medical staff.
Well, to be fair, she's now an amnesiac. She is confused as to where she is.
She doesn't want to be called a Jane Doe. Fair.
I would be a terror also. Like, I wouldn't want to have to be surrounded by people I didn't know in a hospital I didn't know, not know where I was, not be able to stay there, not have my own clothes. I mean, it's rough.
She's going through trauma. And so
in a hospital room that is decked to the nines for Christmas. Even the monitor has
that's not
not
sanitary. Yeah, so and also the sheriff shows up and they're like, we don't know what to do. We're not gonna ask around town.
She's never had fingerprints taken because she's never been arrested or employed.
And I was like, okay, I've been employed in a lot of places. I've never had to get my fingerprints done.
I did when I worked at a school.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only specific jobs.
Service. Yeah, I was like, that's ridiculous. If you work at like Marshalls, they're not gonna fingerprint. Yeah.
My fingerprints are actually in the system from when I was a kid.
What'd you do?
I went to
murder someone
as a child. I am not going to answer your question, but
you did say don't answer questions about murder.
It's true. You never answer the questions about murder.
But where did you go?
Gingerbread.
You know those like community days that they have where the fire and the police department are out and trying to make friends with people in the community?
I'm sorry, they fingerprinted people to connect with the community?
They fingerprinted like kids, like in case they went missing.
What? Okay, that's a little different, but also I hope it was just children. They weren't just like, we want to connect with community. Hey guys, it's fun to get ink on your fingers.
No, it was like for kids, and it was definitely geared towards like parents. Safety. You should get your kids fingerprinted in case they ever go missing. And then,
okay, that's the way you pitched it at first. I was like, I think we have a problem.
Someone did try and kidnap my brother once when we were kids.
See, it's important.
Yeah, at an off-brand Chuck E. Cheese. Moral of the story: always go to brand name Chuck E. Cheese.
Was it Freddy Fazbear's?
This is wild because I have no recollection of ever having a stranger danger talk. And I was the most likely to just talk to a stranger. I remember the Care Bears saying not to, and I remember that being very scary.
I remember, okay, we're getting into some weeds here, but I remember my mom telling me a story that turned out to, I don't think was true, that a little kid was kidnapped in a Walmart, taken into the bathroom and given like clothes, and they cut their hair and colored their hair all in this Walmart bathroom. And then the kid was kidnapped. I don't think this is a thing that happened. I think it was a story.
That was like a Facebook story before Facebook.
Yes. My mom used to joke that if I was kidnapped, they would bring me back, presumably because I was so annoying.
I mean,
This is what I
then
like.
That's like a thing,
then
though.
a couple years ago, there was a story of this little kid who was kidnapped, and they brought him back because he was singing gospel songs the entire time.
Honestly,
And I remember
smart
my
move on
mom,
that
my mom
kid.
was like, "See."
See, maybe if I was a kid, I might do that. But
And
now
that's
that
what
I'm
we should-
older, I'm like, I need to shut up because they're gonna kill me if they think I'm
Mm.
annoying.
Listen, honestly, children, if you're listening to this, I hope you're not. Let's get back to the movie because I can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me cleanse the air with a red gnome snow globe
Thank
made from an
you.
authentic snow globe factory.
Beautiful.
Where are we? Okay, so she's in the hospital, and Chord Overstreet, he's there because he found her. The doctor's there,
And they're like,
she gives
if
her an
no-
ice pack.
Yeah, because she bumps her head, and they're like, she's like, the nurse is like, she cannot stay here. Because
She's like, I don't
"No."
think she has insurance. She's got to get the fuck out of here.
She's not even being that bad. Like,
No,
you know, like patients in a hospital when you wake up disoriented
could be way
can-
worse.
They can be way worse. They
Violent.
can get violent. Yeah, she's being like
She's
pretty
handling this with
okay.
class, honestly.
Yeah.
So Chord is like, okay, well, I guess we'll take her back to the North Star, which I find to be comical. It's like, you can't take her to the station where you could literally like go and be like, okay, we're going to take your photo. We're going to put your photo around town.
Yeah.
I have a serious problem. And here's why I have a problem with the fact that the police don't do anything is because there's
They don't
potential
do
for
anything
really
IRL.
real life. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, this could have been great comedy. Like, it could have been really funny if like the police are like trying to like find where she's from, and then the hotel people, which we totally forget about, who don't ever go after her, which we learn about a little bit later, if they're all like crossing paths and they still don't find her, but she's in town, it's like there's such like good comedy there. It's like
That's true. Drama, comedy, it's all there.
it's a missing piece of this story that I think would make it absolutely 100% perfect. Continuity.
Ships
included.
passing in the night.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it would have been great. That was my big problem with it.
Yeah. Missing persons in Christmas movie, they operate under Snow White rules where it's like,
Yes.
we got a house, you can come live here.
Great.
You know, like you're a knight from medieval times. Sure. I'm Vanessa Hudgens, live in my guest house.
My favorite part is, you know, they give her some clothes and she's like, are these used? And he's like, well, I did find them in the lost and found.
And then they all fit her perfectly. She looks
well,
so
I don't
good
know,
this whole
that
movie.
grandma suit, grandma nightgown.
Okay. Do you guys remember that 80s movie where there's a woman and she gets knocked out and she has amnesia and basically is kidnapped by a man, and he tells her that no, he tells her that she's his wife.
There's a Nicholas Sparks one, but that's not kidnapping. I think
is this Overboard?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
They remade that movie, but gender swapped.
Yeah,
because they couldn't have a man kidnapping a woman.
No, well, I mean, I watched the original, and I was just thinking of that movie the entire time I was watching this film. It's very problematic.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Is this okay? So the protagonist, I'm assuming who is the protagonist, Kurt Russell. I think his last name in the movie is Prophet.
That's your first red flag.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, I thought of that movie the entire time I was watching this one.
But they're not trying to force her into anything.
No,
they do force her into free labor.
They force her into free labor.
That's I think when I made the connection.
Right.
But then I was like, oh well, she's kind of learning things, I guess, because it's very similar. The person in Overboard. Yeah. The woman in Overboard is also very like rich, and she doesn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
And they very much take advantage of her.
Right.
But this movie was much more palatable on that.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a lighthearted comedy. They're not trying to. They're just like, again, it's operating under these kind of like fairy tale logic of like, just stay with us in our magical Christmas cottage lodge thing.
The key part is that Kurt Russell was definitely taking advantage of her, and Chord Overstreet did this out of the kindness of his heart. Yeah, they also were like, well, it's like, well, let's try to figure out who she is. Let's put her to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what she can do about
that was the doctor's orders, right?
Yeah.
But
that's
again,
the key
there's
part there.
It's also not just him. I think having the grandma and the little girl there.
They're all
helps.
like, yeah, they're like, we're gonna try to, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna help us out, and we're gonna help you, learn who you are and stuff.
It's like the advice. Oh gosh, we keep going here. Like when kids are lost, you say like the advice is usually go to someone with children. Especially a woman.
That was
with children.
not my advice when I was a kid.
I've heard that later, but I didn't have a stranger danger.
But here's the thing: is that like, okay, people
the odds of running into
also people use children as bait.
Yeah, but if you're already lost, the odds of
I
running
was always
into...
told to go to someone with authority.
Yeah, like
a manager or a manager of a store.
But if you're gonna be human trafficked, it's gonna be a cop.
Well, maybe
we
not
have to cut this stuff out. Please. But this is a lighthearted episode.
This is a family-friendly episode.
No, but typically they say a woman with a child. They say like if those are your options, like usually a woman with a child is going to be more likely. All right.
I mean, like there's definitely like a thing now where like if women or girls are being pursued by men, you go to another woman and like, hey mom, please get this person off my back. Like, that's a thing that I've heard about.
Right, and we're back to the actual episode.
So they're
I think we have a lot of trauma of stranger danger and not being stranger danger talks that we just need to get off our chest.
How this is a Christmas movie. How have we devolved?
How have we talked about kidnapping so much? Like she's fine. Like,
she's okay.
Perfectly fine.
No,
she's here for her own accord.
They like very much do a good job of setting up that like she's okay.
Safe.
She's safe. There's a bunch of people. Like she opens the window in the morning and there's like people outside.
Like she's in a public place where nothing bad is gonna happen.
It's because it's also a hotel. It's not like she's just in somebody's house.
Yes, exactly. It just happens to be their home. It's like where they
Like whenever even the grandma's walking in to be like, oh, here's stuff to make your bed. Like it's because the door's already left open. They don't have keys to her room. So
basically this involves the cutest stuff of her doing chores.
She's in her
trying to make
granny
breakfast
gown and she sees a raccoon puppet.
This is the moment. This is the moment.
But Chord walks in and he's like, it's fine.
She falls backwards over the chair and knocks it over.
Yes. There's lots of great physical comedy.
And then she's upstanding again and the chair is up again when it should be on the floor and the curtains are on the... I was
too busy having sexual chemistry with Chord Overstreet to worry about
this.
I'm a redhead.
I cannot be distracted by sexual anything when there's logical questioning happening. It's not
opposite.
No.
Logic,
I can't do it.
The first thing I want to turn off.
Different sides.
You guys are the Community, from Community, that meme that we had talked about before. Cullen's like, I can excuse logic, and Alyssa's like, you can excuse logic.
We are opposite sides of the sexual spectrum.
She buttons another button. I'm like, was he checking out her boobs?
Yeah, because he's literally like, nice.
That was very
gown.
strange. Yeah, she does that, and I was like, wait, okay.
It was a little weird.
That was the weirdest moment. But so like they're like, oh well, maybe it'll help her like jog her memory because she tries to make her own breakfast, does not know how.
Okay, my first problem is that she started with olive oil for these eggs, and I was like, I would never butter.
I do olive oil with eggs.
No, I do butter.
I mean, butter has much more flavor, but I don't eat butter anymore. So I also don't eat eggs anymore.
You can't eat eggs either.
Actually, I can reintroduce them into my diet, although I think I probably won't do that because I was allergic when I was a kid.
Which one will you introduce first, chicken or egg?
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that one.
So they
slow clap.
She can't. They're out of pumpkin pancakes. But she's making eggs. She's struggling, and
it's like all over.
Yeah, and because she's struggling with the laundry,
no one's helping her.
Yeah,
they just let her make these mistakes. But also, she eats bacon because little girl is like, you want bacon? And she's like, oh, I don't do bacon, but I don't know why. So let me try it. And she's like, oh, I like it. I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
listen,
was she vegan? Is she
this
about to have vegan
happened.
shits?
Listen, let's not talk about the vegan shits.
I got the impression that she just didn't eat bacon because it was not acceptable to eat bacon because, you know, like
whatever.
It's fattening, or I don't know, something
like that. Diet culture. We already talked about it. Go
yeah.
listen to the last episode. But no, so that literally was a thing that happened in that Amnesia movie with oh god, Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum. Oh god, what was it called? Channing Tatum, Vow.
Oh, that's the Nicholas Sparks one, right?
I think so. It was apparently, I think maybe not. Anyway, but
based on a true story he saw on Facebook. Yeah,
I thought it was. I thought someone like maybe.
I think it was based on. I feel like I remember hearing people talk about how heartwarming it was. See, that's the thing. If we're talking about genres I accept, corny Christmas romance, I'm here. But Nicholas Sparks romance, I'm like, give me logic.
But that was the thing that happened in that movie. In not Nicholas Sparks. Nicholas Sparks-esque for sure though.
Yeah.
But no, that happened. She gets amnesia from I think a car accident, and she's supposed to be vegetarian or something, and she like starts to eat chicken or bacon or whatever. And he's like, but you don't eat bacon, you don't eat meat. And then now all of a sudden she does. Like she's a different person. I was like, you guys stole that. You guys stole it from that movie. But anyway.
I'm okay. And they have some breakfast antics.
The montage of her cleaning.
She gets she gets
a toilet brush stuck in the toilet. That's
I'm
not
like that is the one time.
And then she flushes it. It sprays up in her face. I was like, okay, we have a bigger problem with this toilet.
Yeah, I was like, the logic here. That's the logic.
That's
the toilet
not her
logic
fault
got
at all.
me.
Oh wait, did the toilet brush thing get stuck in there, and that's why it did that?
I don't know.
No, it still wouldn't do that. It would just be plugged.
There was no cord to distract me from the poor logic in that moment.
So then she pours in detergent. However, I will say she pours in too much to begin with, and then dumps the thing.
You have to use the cup. You use the cup.
So many people don't use the cup, and I'm
like,
you're
why?
Insane.
Why?
Waste.
I used to use the cup, and then Rafa was like, "No, you have
why?
To do it this
why?
way.
But why?
There are people that have opinions on these things, and I'm not one of them. So if it makes my life easier to deal with someone else's opinion on it.
Sure.
I'm like, again,
that makes sense.
I'm busy trying to be sexy in the winter. I can't worry about detergent.
So anyway, there's that antic. She hits the soap and it falls in. What else does she do? She tries to make a bed, and I was like, I believe that this is Lindsay Lohan trying to make a bed. This isn't even acting. But I was
fun.
like, you know what? I don't. She looks like she's having a great time with these antics.
Yeah. I mean, the fitted sheet ate her. It was
fun,
entertaining.
Yeah, everyone's having a great time on this movie. That's the energy I get.
Mm-hmm.
But no one helps her. No one teaches her.
Yeah.
Grandma comes in. She goes, "Have you never made a bed? Well, let's try something else." No, Grandma, teach her how to make a bed.
The interesting thing is, I agree or think that it's logical that people might watch as she's creating these train wrecks of normal daily things, but then after that I think that you might step up and say, hey, how about I teach you how to do this normal daily thing?
Well, because then the soap is everywhere, and that's for whatever reason that sets Chord off. He's like, I can't deal with this. This is too much.
Oh, she dumps. I forgot. Okay, so she put the whole thing, the entire bottle went into the washer.
Does that damage the washer though, or don't you just have to clean that?
Well, okay, it depends on the washer. If it's an old washer, it would completely unbalance it, which is why you would get all the thumping sounds, and it probably would ruin the thing. You have to be more careful with them, which I imagine it sort of was, but I don't know if the soap would be the thing that sets off Chord, but maybe the fact that the washer is broken and he doesn't have the money for a new one.
It's not clear as to like what the thing that is wrong, like we're kind of like adding in
Yeah.
our own logic, because to me it seems like he was set up by like all the suds and stuff, which like is a problem, like that could be
But
water
that doesn't
damage, but
yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't really happen with normal laundry soap. Maybe that much, but I can't imagine.
Again,
If you
well
put dish soap or something in.
yes,
it's
exactly.
funny.
Yeah. I had roommates that were from a different country, and they didn't know not to put dish soap in the dishwasher. And one day we come home to a sudsy floor, and we were like,
In the
"Oh God."
in the washer.
No, in the
In the
dishwasher.
dishwasher, not
Dish
dishwasher
oh
soap.
dish soap
Dish,
in the
got it.
Yeah.
To hand wash, they put that instead of dishwasher soap in there, and we were like, no. We were really worried that it like had damaged like the floor. That's what we were more worried about. But that was funny because we all came home like from class and we're all like, what just happened? And they felt really bad, and I felt bad for them because like that must have been kind of embarrassing because they were like,
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
know
yeah.
how to use a dishwasher. It's like, it's okay, just don't use this stuff. Use this stuff.
Yeah.
See,
but
that's the moment when you like stop and say,
Yeah,
"Let me
I wasn't
teach
like,
you how to do
"Ah!"
this."
I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And but like here I'm gonna teach you, like this is what you should use, like just a
Mhm.
heads up. Yeah.
again, one of my favorite genre conventions though is
Is
no
it
one
kidnapping?
gets.
Would you like to talk about kidnapping some more? Anytime we go on a tangent, I'm like, oh god, we're gonna talk about kidnapping again.
No, I was talking about something related to the movie.
Okay.
My favorite genre convention is how no one gets too mad in these Christmas movies. The anger dial in these movies, like, it's always the top. It's you're either at a 0 or a 2 or a 1. There's the 3 anger ratings. Like they don't get too high, and I love that because the holidays are stressful. I don't need to see people yelling on the screen.
That's true.
And because it makes you think of, I think Recovering Gleek posted like a TikTok or reel or whatever, where it was like, what I think Thanksgiving will be, and it was like, let's have a kiki turkey lurkey time. And then the reality was like when they find out Quinn is pregnant, and she's like, I needed my mom, and they're like yelling.
That's fantastic.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
The next scene is another continuity error.
Oh boy, here we go. So what is the next? So where are we in the story now?
So she's like walking outside.
Yes,
she sees
because Chord Chord's like, this, I can't deal with this. And then she gets upset and she walks
So she
outside.
walks outside for some wistful thinking, and she talks to the horse, and she's like petting him.
Love this.
And she's like, I'm just like a useless person. I don't know anything. I don't even know who I am. No one's trying to find me. She's like, let's see if I can get firewood.
Is this a reference to Georgia Rule? Because I looked up Lindsay Lohan horse movie. I'm trying to find references where I can. Just a really quick tangent. I do want to say that I am pretty bummed that there wasn't a Herbie Fully Loaded reference that I could see. I was pretty bummed about that.
I think they only really did like, we'll do Mean Girls because it fits, like Jingle Bell Rock. Like you didn't have to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
So but she walks away, and then Chord is like turns.
He overhears her.
And he feels
How did he get out?
I thought he was in the laundry room.
Yeah, how did he get out to the stable so quickly?
This is the continuity error.
She had to put her jacket on. She had to put her boots on. She had to put her scarf on. He's faster. He doesn't have amnesia. He remembers boots.
No, okay. That's not logic.
There's no timeline between these two scenes. This isn't. We don't see her.
That's
move
the problem.
From scene to scene.
The problem
is
exactly what you said. Yes, it is. It's a problem. Okay. The only thing that we needed to see between those two things, just like one more added scene of him getting to the stables. That's it.
Boring. I don't want to watch that. I have hot people to gaze at. No.
Why not?
No,
They can go both talk to the horse about their problem.
I'm thinking
And then
of
he's in the stables already.
I'm thinking of a TikTok that was just explained to me how I imagine this episode going. Turkey Lurkey time, let's have a kiki. How it's actually going. I need my mom. Oh.
Yeah.
Listen, I will take logic any day over the whatever that was.
You're in the wrong genre.
Yes, but I didn't pick this genre.
I was gonna say.
You gotta play by the rules.
I'm not here for me.
Yeah,
I'm here for Gleeboot.
I mean, I don't like a lot of action movies, but like Die Hard is great. I think it's a great example of the genre. This is a great example of the cheesy Christmas romance genre.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that action beats cheesy Christmas any day, just in terms of continuity.
I don't care. It's boring.
They didn't have the budget for logic.
No, okay, listen.
No,
we have
Santa Claus
different
isn't
tastes.
shipping different levels of rich people in an action movie, is he? No.
No accounting for taste. No accounting.
Yeah, no accounting for my shit taste. We've established it on this podcast. We know. We know I like the Glee version of Sing. So there, so she talks to Balthazar, named after one of the three kings, and then she walks away to go get firewood. Can't do it. She slips because she cares too much. She gets too much.
Yeah, that was her problem. I was like, you got this.
There's lots and lots of firewood. Yeah,
I couldn't carry that much, and like I don't have amnesia.
Yeah.
I mean, you can carry that much, but not on a slippery sidewalk.
Not on slippery stairs.
Yeah, and she's probably wearing something with heels, like not like heels, but maybe like boots with like a little heel.
Yeah, I mean, I used to wear boots with a little heel.
She's fashionable.
Sexy in the winter. That's my new Christmas
single. I was surprised that they didn't salt their walkway.
They should have.
That's why people aren't coming to the. And they're like,
it's a liability.
Yeah.
That's why they're broke. Too many lawsuits.
Yeah. So then he like comes out, greets her, and is like, "Hey, it's okay. Like we're just here to get you back on your feet. Let's go to the Christmas fair, the Christmas village, carnival, tree lighting,
the tree lighting,
the winter event." I love. You know what? I think all movies need to have events. If I've learned anything from being a podcaster, I love an event.
I've never been to a winter event until I lived in Los Angeles.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, but weren't you in some kind of choir? Right?
Yes, yeah. But like
an outdoor event?
Are you talking about I'm talking about like specifically like Christmas lighting events. Yeah.
When I was in It's a Wonderful Life, we sang Christmas carols at the Warren City Hall tree lighting.
No, I sang Christmas music at specifically Mass, and then the other choir that I was in didn't do Mass, Christmas. Yeah. I think it was secular.
Yeah.
So
I was singing "Oh Holy Night" in my voice that made a priest cut an entire musical number once.
Oh no!
Actually, he just cut the ensemble from the musical number. To be fair, yes, the song was hard to sing. B, it also sucked. Like even when people were good at singing it, I was like, "Oh, what a boring way to end a show with a very loose plot." Yeah, from the minds that brought you, Leonie. So they are going to this Christmas fair. Let's check in with Tad. He's having a B plot.
Oh my gosh, Tad! Tad's B plot.
Brokeback Mountain.
Yes, B 100%. For Brokeback Mountain.
I mean, he is in his long johns for a couple scenes. So.
Well, yeah. So he gets picked up by.
Well,
he finds the cabin in the woods.
Before he's wandering around, he's trying to like record a video, and his phone dies.
I love that.
He's scared of squirrels. He's terrified, and then he's like, "Oh my gosh, savior!"
He wanders into this ice fishing cabin. And I was thinking of actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf. He walks in, and this guy gets scared when he walks in and throws a box of lures at him, and one of them gets stuck in his eye.
Well, not his eye,
his
eyebrow. Yeah,
it's an eyebrow
that's a key
piercing.
Difference. Yeah,
it looks lit. And then he ends up fainting because the guy was like, "Yeah, you have a lure in your face."
Yeah. He's like, "What?" Because
So
and this
He-
is when you know that he was close to death because he can't feel anything.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Mhm.
2013.
But yeah, no, that is a good point. Like here's the other thing about Santa causing this is that like there's a high risk that these two dummies, like no offense to Lindsay Lohan, but she's a dummy. She doesn't,
Yeah,
she
no
can't
life
live on her
skills.
own. And it's not her own, it's not her fault. Okay. Tad is a dummy, probably for his own accord. But there's a high chance they could have just like frozen to death.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100.
And no one was looking for them.
No one was looking for Tad.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So
Did we
Santa's that's a
assess
risk
that?
I'm willing,
I'm willing
to
to
take.
take. Yeah. So he finds the lumberjack. I still can't remember his name.
Ralph.
Ralph.
Yeah.
Somehow in the morning, Tad ends up in his long johns, presumably stripped down by Ralph.
Mm.
Oh yes. I mean, Ralph's the only other person there, so yeah.
Unless Santa did it. Unless Santa was playing double matchmaker.
So then they go off on an adventure.
He's like running out after him in his long johns, and I'm like, you're gonna get cold again.
Well, Ralph's is Santa's age, so like
Yeah, I thought Ralph was Santa at first.
You didn't think the roasted nuts guy was Santa?
No, I thought they were both the same person.
Oh, got it.
I saw a white beard. I was like same
grayish
person.
white.
Yeah, it's
grayish
like when I'm
white.
watching The Crown, everyone is just so white and British, I can't tell them apart. Yeah.
No, they're all the same actor, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they're doing their like his car is stalled, so they're gonna go through the pass. He leaves a note like, we're going through the pass, come find us. Says it's gonna be 2 days, but they're gone for more than 2 days. And like Tad is like,
wait, did he say 2 days? I thought he said
Yeah.
4 days.
I don't know. There was a note and it was red
thought he
and I
said
didn't
4.
pay attention.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
It was way too long.
it was a long time
Especially
to be
for
out
Tad.
in the winterness. Yeah, the winterness. Oh my gosh, I'm coining that.
TM trademark.
So because he also like slips, and Ralph gives him like his snowshoes, and he lifts him up and puts them in, and he's like, oh, you're so strong. Like there's sexual tension.
Oh yes. But I don't think
yeah.
Ralph realizes what he's doing. Ralph is like, he's like, oh, here, let me lift up your leg and put these on. He's just being a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Tad is like having moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moments
I would
in the
agree
woods.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moments in the woods. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So they're struggling. And so meanwhile, Lindsay and Chord, they go to the Christmas bonanza and they see a sleigh. And she's like, oh my gosh, this sleigh. And then Abby, whatever, the little girl, the child. And Chord is like, that's a lot of our price range. And I'm like, when a kid sees Christmas decor, that doesn't mean they want you to buy it. They're just like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't understand that.
Oh, we forgot to save the cat moment. Avi is, I'm gonna say her name differently each time. Her curl is stuck. Or
She's
she
in
has
a tangle.
And
I actually thought this was weird. Okay, continue. And then I'll tell you the part that I thought was weird.
All of it? Because it was a little weird.
Sierra, oh my gosh, her name. Lindsay comes in and she helps her, and then she has a flashback to her mom helping her and saying, like, you just gotta persevere because life's tangles. If you have a little faith, we'll like get through. And then the girl's like, oh my gosh, thank you. What's your name? She's like, I don't know. And she's like, you can have one of my stuffed animals' names. And she lists
some of her names are like men's names, then she only picks Sarah because the woman's name is like,
it's the only woman name. Yeah,
she should go with Wallace. She's like,
you could have gone with any of them. Yeah, but the part that I thought was strange is, and I think this is the scene, but it might have been later. She walks in, she's like, can I help you? And then she shuts the door. That's it. That's the part I thought was weird.
I think we have to cut this.
But I'm not
Why?
going there. I'm not going there.
We're not going
I'm
to
not going
Stranger
there.
Things.
We don't have to go to kidnapping. I just thought it was weird. The
You
doors
just
have been
went to
open in this entire place the entire time that
Sure.
we've
Okay,
seen
we're-
all the
That
montages.
is weird.
We are closing the Pandora's box.
No!
Yes.
I will not be shut down, Cullen.
Don't
It's
shut the
weird
door in
that
her
she
face.
shut the door.
I actually thought that when this little girl was like, "Oh, what's your name? Well, let's pick one for you." I thought she was literally going to be like, "My mom's name was Emily. Let's call you Emily."
Hi, mommy.
Yeah,
That would have been more weird.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, "Oh, that little girl definitely wished for a new mom."
Yeah. So
Also, that little girl does not ever put it together. That like
What?
potentially her wish came true. Like
Oh
she should've-
yeah.
no,
like,
no,
when
she
Lindsay-
does. She does.
No, but when Lindsay
When?
shows up, she should have been like, "Oh my
My
god."
wish.
She should have parent trapped it. Oh,
My new mom.
she could have, this little girl could have parent trapped it. I'm writing a new movie for Lindsay Lohan, new Christmas movie next year. You're welcome.
This wasn't a terribly written movie, but there are little things that could have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but you can draft and redraft till the cows come.
They were like,
home.
"We have 3 months to
Yeah.
Yes, let's
to
go.
make the movie. We need a script now."
You need a script over a weekend. Yeah, so they go to the Christmas thing and she holds a snow globe and it like gives her a memory, but we don't see this flashback. And then
Yeah.
it gives her a moment and then the girl's like, "Oh my gosh." And Chord is like, "I'll buy it for you."
It's
This
an early
memory
Christmas
stuff
gift.
with the snow globe is weird.
yeah, because they don't really explain it. Because we don't get the flashback.
Right.
But she's like, "I remember this beautiful lady who gave it to me. I think it was my mom." So
We should
anyways,
have gotten a flashback there.
Yeah, no, it should have been. So they go to the tree lighting. The tree is lit. Everyone is singing. And she's not singing. And Chord is like, come on, you gotta sing. It's Christmas. Contrast.
Then she says, "I'm not a good singer." So she's remembering Tad being like, "You're a little pitchy." And I was like, "You're right, Cullen. Car karaoke, safe space."
Says
Mhm.
damage that lasts beyond.
I mean, she's
Everyone
not-
is a great singer in car karaoke. I'm sorry, they just are.
She's not really
Express yourself.
remembering, but like she's reliving a traumatic moment.
Subconscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Subconsciously understanding
Mhm.
trauma.
But Chord is just like, yeah, sing. And so they're singing along. Everyone's having a good old time. I think they get home and then there's mistletoe.
Mhm.
And I think at this point she's talked with like Alejandra. Yeah, because you saw her like about to cry and she talked about, yeah, this was my daughter. Like she died like a couple years ago. Like and that we gave
And
this
that's how we
place to our
know that
son-in-law.
yeah, Chord had a wife and she died and
Mhm.
he inherited and
Yeah. So they almost kiss under the mistletoe, but then they're like, "Oh, that might be weird."
well,
But they got so close. I'm like, at this point, it's already
do
gonna
it.
be weird. So
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be
Oh,
weird, right?
I wouldn't.
Really?
No. Listen, we already talked about this. I'm extremely logical. If I'm a
Right.
woman with amnesia and I've only known this person for like 2 days, there's no way. Absolutely none.
Yeah, I mean,
just
unless
people
like
with less context.
I don't know. I guess if I was Lindsay Lohan, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't.
Maybe we don't know enough about her.
But
and
also
her
maybe because it's Chord
preferences.
Overstreet, and I would have been like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
let's
he
do
is
it.
very
I'm already this
attractive.
close.
Yeah, he is exceptionally attractive.
You know, as the killers say, it was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. So meanwhile, she's getting better at being folksy and making breakfast and doing chores and wearing plaid and like opening the
She's
window
getting
and
better
waving
at
at
wearing
people.
plaid.
Yeah.
waving at people in the window right outside of her room. Yeah, I mean, it's a 180 from the day before.
Yeah, she's
or
living her best.
7 days before.
We
Who
don't
knows?
know. I love a nebulous timeline in a romance. Timelines can kill it.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say.
Again, I don't mean that sarcastically. I do love a nebulous timeline in a romance.
Here's what I'm gonna say though. I think to a certain degree, I actually connect with the fact that time around Christmas is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because of going to school, things are kind of weird. And then even as an adult, like there are some people who like decide to take vacation during that whole time.
Yeah.
Like stuff that's like it is kind of a nebulous time. So I kind of I kind of connect.
I do appreciate that. We get a timeline more towards the end.
Yeah.
It's getting closer to Christmas,
which
and that's
puts it in perspective. But like while it's all happening, I think a more nebulous, like generic timeline that you don't really know what's going on, except for specific moments, like you're going to the stables. But
I'm making a face, listeners.
If you couldn't have imagined that yourself.
Yeah. So they are she even says like the couple from the sleigh is leaving and they're like, oh, how are you? She's like, I'm good. And then they're leaving. She's like, thanks for staying. Have a Merry Christmas. She's
really
a greeter.
Quick though, when they first see her, like when she first wakes up, I think, or when she first comes to the hotel or whatever it's called, they like walk up to her and they're like, hi. They like expect her to remember them. Not only does this woman have amnesia, they're like, oh, but you were unconscious. What are you talking about?
They're like,
cute
our
couple?
vibes are so strong.
So strong. Look at how adorable we are.
Like it would have been something more like, hi, I'm so glad to see you're feeling better. Like
yes,
we were the people. We were on the sleigh when
we would be like, we don't expect you to remember us.
Exactly.
Just for saying hi. But they were like, hi. Oh, you don't fucking remember me?
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were unconscious. We thought you were a dead body.
Worst thing you can do to someone with memory issues is just put them on the spot like that. Yeah. So she's in her full Christmas era. She's thriving. She's having a great time. Tad, low-key, also having a great time.
Fantastic time. He's thriving in the wilderness.
Yeah. Santa gave them both.
Like I would have thought that it was impossible for Tad, but it was not impossible for Tad.
Yeah.
He had Ralph.
Tad is resilient.
He is.
Like that Katy Perry song, yeah.
He ends up getting found by the Congratulations.
Empty bottle. I need to get
Are we even halfway through this?
Yeah, roughly.
On our final recording, we should all have a bottle.
4th glass of wine for all the listeners out there. This is the end of the bottle.
We're gonna be so sloshed by the end of the Gleekies.
Wow.
That's the whole point. Anyway.
I'll be weeping. Yeah. So yeah, they're meanwhile they're like volunteering at I feel like I'm going out of order. They're baking gingerbread and they're like spraying frosting at each other.
They're having a cute time.
Lots of just cute content. And then they're volunteering at like not Toys for Tots, but like Toys for Tots, right?
Okay. And this woman comes out. Yeah, he shows he's like, wrapping should only take 3 pieces of tape, which I've heard before. And then he's like, here, let me show you how. He's like, here, let me show you how. And then we proceed not to see how he actually wraps it. We just see him putting the tape on. And I was like, you're a liar. Anyway, but then this woman comes out. I don't remember what her name is because it's on a
Wait,
tag.
You've never
like
actually wrapped a present like that?
No, I have, but I'm saying that he is lying to us. We didn't see Chord Overstreet actually wrapping that gift.
Oh, right.
It's him putting the tape on. It's
possible to wrap gifts like that, but Chord Overstreet doesn't know how to do it.
Absolutely
Catch us
not.
DMing Chord Overstreet. Do you know how to wrap a present without it?
So this woman comes out of the store and she's like, she gives the weirdest acting. But anyway, I don't remember anything she says. And he's like, oh, I could never forget my Christmas girlfriend. And I was like, I'm sorry. Do you have like a girlfriend for every holiday? What is this? What is this line?
I think it's supposed to be like a work wife, but it's Christmas
I don't care.
themed,
That's
so
weird. It's weird to bring that up in front of a woman you're clearly kind of having a flirtmance with.
Well, he's trying to be like,
also this woman
I
who
don't
has
know.
amnesia.
Yeah, she's confused.
Yeah.
But then she's
It's
like,
so weird.
he's such a good guy. Because he's like, don't talk about me when I'm gone. And then she's like, he's such a good guy. He does so much for the community.
We need to show him, how much we appreciate him.
And she's like, And then she sees Alejandra reading from their memory book. They have
The
this
burn
book,
book, if you will.
the burn book, yeah. The blessed book of all their happy memories, like people who got married there.
Yeah, previous guests, 3 decades, which is a lot. So that means like it was her husband's running it. So it was a long time.
Yeah. And so
wait, actually, hold on. That's only from the 90s.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's a long time.
I thought 30 years. I'm like, oh my God, back in the 70s. Crazy.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Hannah? No.
Ouch. I'm old.
You're old. I'm 30 next year.
Okay, you're 2 years older. That's not. Yeah. We're old. Fuck.
We're all old.
I always think of
up there.
The SpongeBob episode where they're like, this song
Grandma's
will make you think
cookies.
about the young old days. And it's the you're old.
Okay. So Lindsay Lohan's cooking up an idea.
She's
and
like,
Alejandra's showing her the memory book.
She's like, yeah, we're gonna get the memory book. We're gonna invite people, and we'll have like a little gala. We'll have an event.
Okay, here's another issue that I have logically with this movie. So Alejandra's like, yeah, I have all of their like names and addresses saved.
In a
she
Word
pulls
document.
Up a Word document, not even an Excel sheet where you can organize and oh my God.
But you know what? I believe
this is why their business is failing.
I believe she would put in a Word document though.
Yes, absolutely. But also, come on.
Well,
like at a certain point, you have to come to the 21st century with a business like this. And if you don't and your business fails, I'm sorry. You need to update. I'm sorry.
This is interesting because I feel like they had the perfect opportunity in opening for Sarah or Lindsay to be that opening into the modern era, right?
Yeah.
Like she could have introduced them to social media and
email,
Excel and email. Yes, all of these things.
She's gonna start with Microsoft 98.
I wonder,
but instead they chose to do a fundraiser.
Well, I wonder if that was initially in the idea. Then they needed her to have amnesia.
And right, and she's
okay.
I don't know.
Skills,
Microsoft Excel, that is muscle memory. I'm sorry, I can
no.
Like be able to put in formulas,
skills and stuff. I believe still
it's a different
are. Yeah, it's still a thing during amnesia. Like memories, it would only affect specific like memory stuff, not specifically the skill of being aware of modernization and
it is the more logical choice. And I think perhaps even if it was in the script, perhaps they went with the more traditional choice because of the genre convention of like, we have to do like this goodwill thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's true, but also this
could have been both. But it could have been.
It's like a Netflix Christmas movie. They're allowed to do that. They can think a little bit outside the box, right?
Yeah, Princess Switch. They had 3 fucking movies out of that.
3 Vanessa Hudgens.
I have only watched like people on the internet doing reviews of those movies. That's the only thing I know about them.
They're such a good time. They are so fun. You just watch.
Okay, but would you recommend it to me? Do they? I would recommend you watch.
I would recommend you watch the people on the internet, like YouTubers, reacting to those movies and making jokes about it. I feel like that's how you should consume them.
Again, it depends on the YouTuber, because I think there are YouTubers that do that and they're really funny, but there's some that like it's just such bad faith criticism that like again they're not taking into account the genre conventions. They're comparing
someone who like leans into how ridiculous a movie is.
Yeah.
And like embracing that, but also be like, this is ridiculous.
The Drew Gooden, Danny Gonzalez, Curtis Connor.
Yes, corner. That pipeline, that's where you need to be. That's where you need to stay.
As opposed to the person who like every 5 Riverdale episodes does a new video about Riverdale's such a mess. And then why are you watching? Why are you so obsessed with me? You know, like you don't have to watch someone's making you. Oh wait, the views. You get the views. So okay,
right.
Tad. So they
such a tad.
Such a Chad. That's the new Chad. It's a variant of Chad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that she does they go around town, they promo the fundraiser. First, Chord doesn't want to do it. He's like, no, I'm fine. I don't need a handout.
Which that was very strange to me, because this comes
Really?
right after the scene where they're talking about how he gives charity to everyone in the town.
No, but he's like, I see that because I see like people are like, no, I give, I don't receive.
Yes,
That's
that's how I take it.
Oh, I
That's
don't.
That's a lot
It's
of
a
people are
pride
like
thing.
that.
I know a lot of people are like that, but I don't. I can't.
I think it works for the genre though, because
Yeah.
like he has to be
Yeah.
the good-hearted, like, no, I give to my
Yeah.
community, but I don't need my community to help me. Like
Yeah.
it's like a pride thing. It's like I should be able to do this on my own. But I also think another part of it that
Sexy
he kind of
flannel
admits,
dad doesn't want to. That's not part of their character.
I also think that part of it is, he kind of talks about it a little later, is that like he's also kind of like, maybe I want to be done with this business.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
he
really
talks
sad.
about it
everything breaking
later.
down. Yeah.
He talks about it later.
I thought it was
That's
the same
problem.
scene. Or was it a
No,
different scene?
No, it was a different scene, but I also
Much
think
later.
but
yeah.
no, but I still think that's in that scene, even if we're not seeing it.
Maybe it's just that I would have preferred to see like more build up to this, like more, you know how we always talk about you do these things in threes.
Yeah.
That
Right.
sort of concept
Oh.
where you build on a thing until it peaks. I think that would have been really great for this scene.
Interesting.
One of my, again, I'm gonna go back to genre. I'm so sorry. One of my favorite parts of this genre is how they aren't like, some movies are like, we want time to kind of breathe and like think about this. Christmas movies like this are like, we are on a schedule. Like, people are gonna be done with their drinks and dessert and people need to go home. Like,
no, that's
Mom's
true.
tired.
Christmas movies have a timeline. You can't make a 2.5-hour Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
It's a Wonderful
for
Life
damn sure.
It's very long, and we would be like getting ready for midnight mass as it was ending, and like watch like, yeah. And that movie is a Christmas classic because it ended up with like no one owned the rights, so TV stations could just play it.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone was like, "This is a Christmas movie." I love that movie. But anyways, so he eventually convinces her because they put up the angel together.
That angel's ugly. I'm sorry.
I did think
I
that
don't care if it's a fucking sentimental thing. It's fugly.
Yeah.
They used to be all the rage though.
That was trendy, yeah.
It
Not
was
2 years
very
ago,
trendy.
yeah.
No, it was like, I think it was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like a
angels?
big thing.
Yeah, we had an angel like that. We still have an angel like that in
Yeah.
my parents' tree. Yeah.
Yeah, angels specifically with like the porcelain faces and the really nice hair and the extremely elegant, quote unquote, dresses.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
that
want
was a
Met
thing.
Gala theme. Tree toppers. I want that to be a Met Gala. I know Blake Lively will pull it off. Okay, so so he eventually agrees to it. They promo the event. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we love him, we're gonna go. And so it's like this cute little event there. And then Alejandra is like, Avi, let's go like prep more appetizers, because Alejandra comes up to Lindsay while she's getting ready and is like, how about a dress for you?
Which is really nice.
It's really nice. It's a sexy dress. She's like, I want
it's
this
also
woman.
Extremely inappropriate for the middle of winter.
I know. I was like, that's why I was like, it's kind of sexy for this event and like time. So she's
like,
but she's
listen,
like,
you can still have a sexy dress and be warm.
Be warm.
Yeah.
PSA.
That was not it.
Sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleeves are included in that package.
Yeah, I hated that shawl thing.
I want her
did not do service for her.
But she's like,
you can have it be like floor length and still have a slit. You'd have long sleeves and you'd have a low, maybe a low back would be more more the
or like
the
you could
vibe.
do some kind of fabric that like is like sheer or something, and you know, like there's lots of different ways you can have.
It looked like a summer dress. It looked
it looked
like a summer dress.
Yeah. And so she walks down and she's like, yeah, Alejandro bought it for me because your mother-in-law wanted me to be banging for you, Chord. And so, because he's like, wow, you're beautiful. And then the grandma and the girl go do appetizers and they're like having fun at the event. No one's there yet. And he's like, I almost want no one to come so it can just be us. And she puts on her little gold shawl and they dance to Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. They dance, everyone comes in, they have a party, and then he's supposed to be giving a speech. And he's like so nervous. And she's like, you can do it. And then he's like, thank you for coming. This is great. And it comes to the part where he's supposed to ask for help. And he's like, I can't do this. And she's like,
he literally can't. It was very frustrating for me.
I wanted her to help him. I thought she was going to come up and be like, what he's struggling to say is.
I wanted it to not be a struggle, but asking for help, I think, typically is.
Yeah.
So I think I was, I don't know. I think I was just annoyed. At that point, there were too many continuity errors for me to be like fully into the movie.
I was on a Judy Garland vibes. I was like, this Christmas party is so much fun. And then they bring out a basket. They're like, it's a Wonderful Life now. And they're like, we as a town, we put stuff together for you. And people come up are like, remember when we couldn't afford a honeymoon, so you had to stay in the biggest suite and you brought us champagne, you didn't charge us anything? Here's us paying for what that probably should have cost. Or like, remember when you gave me a ride? Or so he's
I don't know, like I feel like I understand the original sentiment of like, I don't want handouts, but the fact that you, as a business person, you're not even like
charging people.
It's like those people literally got a free weekend in their best room.
I fully expected, like, this was not advertised as a fundraiser. So the fact that all of these people just wrote checks
and
for this. Yeah, exactly. I was very surprised.
I was like, why didn't you do this 2 Christmases ago last year? When his
I
wife
think
died.
It's supposed to be like this.
Remember like, the magic.
Well, yeah, but like Christmas magic, Christmas goodwill. Everyone's doing their best to help this place out, but there's no real indication that this place is going underwater. Right?
They don't ask, right? Because of this scene is very much an homage to It's a Wonderful Life when everyone is putting money in the basket and they're like, you did this, you helped us out here. Mm-hmm. But in that movie, it's much longer. So we saw him do all those things, most of those things. And B, his wife is like, hey, like, we need help. Mm-hmm. She asks for help, and the people, and the whole point is like, Mr. Potter is like, if you ask for help, these people will run you out of town. They won't support you because poor people are lazy, and in this, he's like, oh, I need help. And they're like, oh, we'll pull out all the stops, so but in this, they missed the step of, okay, we need money,
Yeah, exactly.
But I was coasting on vibes, and I was like, yes. And I'm like, I was waiting for, it's an event, something dramatic's going to happen, because Tad and Ralph made it to the sheriff's station, or they're found or whatever. The sheriff briefly arrests Ralph for poaching, but Tad is like, please, it's Christmas, and they let him go. And
it's Christmas, and he saved my life.
He saved my life. And then Beauregard shows up and is like, Tad, and he's like, oh yeah, because Beauregard is back at the hotel and is like, where's my daughter? And they're like, we didn't want to bother her. And he's like, she never goes anywhere without her luggage. Because that's the clue that she's missing.
It's just, but also, I think that the biggest thing is that the police do not try
do missing persons,
anything. They don't do anything.
Because
when you have a Jane Doe, dead or alive, they try to do something about it for the most part. I mean, but maybe they're just such a small town that they just like don't even know.
Yeah,
which I can understand.
Short-staffed, people are on vacation.
But also like this Beauregard man, he has a lawsuit against these police because like they did not do anything to connect her with her family.
True. You know what? But This is in an age of propaganda, standing against it all, falling for Christmas.
I guess so.
Yeah, they're like, please don't
They're
do
not-
shit. You know who does do shit? Your local community and the owner of your local folksy ski resort that has a Christmas tree in each room.
I
And is
guess
a hot
so.
flannel dad.
Sexy flannel dads. I mean, I guess.
So then Tad and Beauregard show up and they're like, Sierra. She's like, oh, I guess that's my name. And they're like, oh my gosh, we found you. My fiance, we're engaged. And she's like, what? And then because he says to Beau, I can call you father-in-law. And Beau is like, So they like scoop her up and Ava's like, you can't go. And she's like, I have to. And like, does she have to immediately just leave without like saying goodbye? No, but we love the drama. We love the sad song playing as she goes back to her life and wakes up and it's like, I'm alone again.
And so does she realize that's her dad? Like, does she recognize him?
I think so, yeah. She recognizes them.
She recognizes him. She doesn't recognize Tad.
Yeah. For more memories. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, that is a true thing with memory. You know, you hold on to earlier ones.
But she doesn't remember her mom. But I guess her mom was dead when she was a young. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just really weird. It was very uncomfortable because, like, I don't know.
Did it make you think of Annie when they were like, we're your parents? And then.
Sure. Can we stop? Yeah, I don't know. It was like a weird scene because, like, I don't know why. It was weird.
It was weird.
I loved this movie.
I loved it.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, actually, no, I had more problems with it. I think I was just caught up.
Again, you're supposed to just vibe. You're vibing.
Yes, like you're not supposed to think about it and just like sit there. And that's what happened. And then I started taking notes, and I took a lot more notes. I actually didn't need to take notes, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we have discussed how my like particular career has sort of like ruined my my viewing opportunities. Yeah. I'm much more I don't let things go anymore.
Yeah.
Also, I look at it and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. So then she's all sad, he's all sad. It's Christmas morning. He got a helmet. AV got boots. Alejandra got a book. And she's like, I had a Christmas wish and it didn't come true. I wish that you would find somebody to love.
And also I wanted someone who can take care of me too. I was like, that girl asked for a new mom.
Yeah.
She definitely did. And Santa gave it to her.
So he's like, I don't know. He's like, I liked her, but she's like, well, did you tell her? Good point. She doesn't she's a mind reader.
Tell her about it, Billy Joel. Not Gleecast version. I don't think they sang it.
So he's like, okay, well, because they watch out. There's a press conference where she's like,
yes. Why is there a press conference? Is it to out these cops for being terrible? No, it's just to be like, oh my God, everyone was so worried about you.
JK.
No,
well, that's the point. Is not many people were.
No, this was just like a salacious thing that, like, wow, But she does a good thing. She's not doing this for marketing. She's literally like, I just want to thank this family and their small business for basically keeping me safe because the cops weren't doing anything. My family had to do it themselves. And they did it in a single night.
But I do love that she, like, I feel like she knows because she's continually like, the North Star Lodge. Right. Let me say that clearly. And because before she wakes up and they're like, oh, we're going to get you dressed in this fancy thing. She's like, I'm going to be simple.
I'm going to go simple. Listen, we love a queen wearing bell-bottom jeans and a tartan blazer. We love it.
And so she's making her own breakfast. She's feeding.
She made the bed.
Not only is she making
the same pillow down 4 times.
Yeah,
she goes into the kitchen
to make breakfast.
And makes breakfast with all of these chefs, like the chef and the sous chefs,
and they're clapping.
They clap when she does the thing.
That's my favorite.
I would be so annoyed can I tell you, if I was a chef or a sous chef or any manner of anything underneath those positions, because I don't understand how that world works.
It's
But
barbarity, I will say that.
listen,
Anyone
if
I know
if
works in a
I
kitchen.
worked in a kitchen that with that amount of prestige, I would not let anyone in it.
Yeah, that's probably a health code
Yeah.
violation.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
she's Lindsay Lohan and she wants to make some eggs.
It's her dad's
True,
her
true.
dad's
It's
hotel.
her dad's hotel. She wants to shove some bacon in people's mouths.
That would be so frustrating for me, living like working in this hotel, and then all of a sudden the daughter of the son who owns you comes in, and you're like,
Mhm.
no.
Well, that's the thing is she doesn't want that life. She
She
like
wants a
doesn't.
simple life.
Yeah,
But
Paris Hilton.
she also
people hang out
doesn't
at Walmart.
really take into consideration the feelings of the chef.
Well, she does of the cleaning crew because she's like, oh, I thought
Okay,
you
one
to
step
clean
at a
stuff.
time. Cleaning crew first, chef
Yeah.
later. Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
she's learning. She's still learning.
Yeah, so she promos them. Tad's like, we're engaged. We're going to fly to the beach. Because that's where all Christmas villains love
And
going to
no,
the beach.
an undisclosed location. And I'm like, no, Tad, you do not have the privilege to take her to a secret location ever again.
Yeah, you are tagging her in things. So they're going to the secret location, and she's like, I need a moment. And she talks to her dad. She's like, I need to find my own thing. You know, I love that you're doing this for me, and I love you. I need to find my own way.
Find my own way. Need to go my
Which
own
I
way.
respect.
Glee
Like,
cast
that's-
version.
Recast
Yeah.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And like her dad is like, that's fine. Like I gave you this job, and if you don't want it, that's fine. I just wanted to like help you, make sure you got on your feet.
I promised your mother I'd always take care of you.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
although it is a little weird that if she is supposed to be her actual age, it is weird that he waited till she was in her mid-30s instead of like
Maybe she
Yeah.
was backpacking.
I mean, honestly, the entire conversation, her realization, everything should have been about, you know, 5 to 10 years earlier, anywhere.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but again, people in this genre are an undisclosed age. They are anywhere from 24 to 45. Anywhere.
Yep, exactly.
Just whatever age you want them to be. And so she's like, okay. And then she's like, Tad, you're a great guy, and I think you're gonna bounce back by New Year's. I don't think we're compatible. You know, he's like, you're breaking up with me, and she's like, you're gonna be okay. They hug, and then he's like, Terry, you want to go to a beach?
Yeah, because she's like, you're gonna have someone by New Year's, you're gonna be fine. And then he's like, what are you doing for New Year's? And then I was like, my bidar.
Boom, boom, boom. I mean, I was still, because when he leaves Ralph, he's like, let's stay in touch. So I was expecting Ralph to come for him, and they were gonna
I did
go.
too. I was actually
Mhm.
kind of bummed. They should have gotten them.
I mean,
together.
to be fair, Ralph and he had a very large age gap. It was a little
No.
strange.
How old was Ralph?
No.
We don't know.
50s,
Again,
60s.
Anywhere from 38 to 68. How old was Tad? Anywhere from 18 to 50.
29, 35.
Okay, I would
92.
not cap that at 50. Ted was definitely not 50.
Okay, 40.
I would cap it
Yeah.
at like 36, 37.
Yeah.
36. Okay, yeah,
But, like,
I would say okay.
But also like,
Because he is an influencer, yeah.
yes, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I honestly think that like they should have brought Ralph back because they
Yeah.
already he should have, it's like, I'm gonna thank you, and then I'm gonna thank you.
Yeah. And so he gets in the
Brokeback
limo,
Mountain, but on a beach, baby.
Beach Baby, like that Super
Brokeback
Fruit
Beach.
song. So they see that the sled is magically there. The sled from earlier. It appeared.
The one that the daughters wanted, I guess.
And she's like, okay, we're gonna take the sled. Oh my gosh, it's like a Christmas. It's like my wish is coming true. They sled after. Chord confesses his feelings to Terry. He goes to the limo, and he's like, I know we've just met, but I have these really strong feelings for you.
I
And
guess.
Whoever is in the limo does not roll down that window. We're
Mm-mm.
assuming it's Lindsay.
But then
It was
Tad,
majorly like secondhand embarrassment for me.
Yeah.
Tad rolls it down as like, sorry, it's I have plans already. And
Can
Terry's
we
like,
quickly
hey.
talk about his Pee Wee Herman hair?
Yeah, his hair's so weird.
All right, we're done. We talked
We're
about
done.
it.
So then he runs in. Lindsay's being wistful in the lobby by the Christmas tree, and he's like, "Oh, I have feelings for you," and she's like, "I have feelings for you." Like they have this conversation
Wait,
about.
no, first Santa tells him, I think what you're looking for is
In the
randomly
in the
back
lobby.
there.
Yeah, and also the phone is ringing off the hook. The phone from like 1975 that Alejandra is answering, and everyone is trying to book a stay. So the business is saved. Christmas is saved, and he's like,
because they're fully booked. Presumably for
the rest of the Christmas season,
which is a week. I'm sorry, that's
till
not
January
a good sign.
6th.
Do ski resorts stay open all year long?
Depends on where they are.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're probably in a. God, I hope they're in a location that's open year long, because otherwise that business is fucked.
Yeah, it's like otherwise you got to be making like candles.
There's certainly gonna be like seasons where it's gonna peak, but they would have to be an all year round thing, because otherwise they're not gonna survive.
I mean, it's a quaint little town. People want to go to that all year round. So they confess their feelings. They talk about love and Christmas and joy, and she kisses him. I thought that was a fun reversal. He runs to her and she's like, I have feelings, and so she kisses him. But Avi was watching the horse and sleigh, but now she's with the dad, and they're all like, yay, Christmas, and they're happy. And then 1 year later, it says 1 year later. I remember it's saying 1 year later. Don't remember what was happened.
I don't remember that.
What? There was a time jump?
Yeah, I
must have looked
don't
away.
remember a time jump to 1 year later.
You're probably right, honestly.
I think it was just like a happily ever. Like they put up the angel and they're Christmasing together and they're happy kind of deal.
Oh,
interesting. The most impactful part of this movie for me,
the bloopers,
was yes, exactly, the bloopers.
There weren't even that many actual bloopers. It was mostly just like, well, I
people
guess they
being
were
goofy.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the mistakes that they make, like that make bloopers. It's like Lindsay Lohan said a line wrong a couple times. And it was just like them making the movie and like silly faces, and like that's cute, but also
they're being weird and
slightly everyone's having a great time, and if I learned anything from Leone, it's a good movie needs a blooper reel, especially a period drama
about a nun who becomes a saint.
Not yet.
Doesn't become should be a saint, but she's too obsessed with tweezers.
So that's Leone, but that is Leone, but that's Fallen for Christmas. Also, we forgot to say, when they're promoting the event, it plays Chord Overstreet's Everybody Loves Christmas. It's a bop. It's a Christmas banger.
Everybody loves counting.
Everybody loves counting. It's right up there with Underneath the Tree. Same energy.
That's bold. I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know how much I love that Kelly Clarkson song.
I know.
So much that it came on the shuffle, and I was like, listen, it's late October, maybe early November. I'm listening to it. I love that song.
Yeah, so Falling for Christmas, I guess. Tina's
not here, but you know what Tina would do? She would definitely be actively getting Chord Overstreet and Lindsay Lohan together.
Yeah.
She would be searching for Lindsay Lohan. She would be Lindsay Lohan's best friend in this movie. And she would be like, we have to find her.
Yeah.
I think she would take that
storyline.
I think she would take out Santa, though.
Like beat him up? Take him out?
Like
sniper
rifle? Yeah. Sniper rifle.
Or take him out on a date.
Maybe, but probably not.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's out of the realm. I'm just saying, like, not in her characterization. I
You know
can
what?
pronounce things.
I'm sure Jen Ushkowitz watched this movie and was like, "This is great." Next, do we have a favorite or least favorite thoughts on the music? I loved Everybody Loves Christmas.
I loved Jingle Bell Rock in the car. Didn't really listen to the one over the credits, besides the little rap
Lindsay,
part.
yeah.
Only because I was too distracted by the excellent Blooper reel.
The first one was my favorite.
Dirty
The
Chris.
opening song. Yeah.
Yeah. And MVPs and LVPs.
Okay, here we go. LVP Santa Claus. Fuck that man.
Tina would take him out.
I did say at the beginning of the episode that it was this little girl's fault, but you know what? She lost her mom, and so like it's totally understandable that like she just wanted to have that other mother figure, and that she wanted to have her dad be happy. And so like maybe I was a little harsh, okay? So Santa LVP for sure. I take back what I said about the little girl. Had a change of heart. It's Christmas after all. Christmas miracle.
I'm gonna go with Terry for not reporting a one missing.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing he doesn't do, which should be his. Also, the security guards, they could have also reported her missing.
Literally anyone who was staffed to help her
Because
could have reported her missing.
Because I would say, maybe after one day, he's like, oh, they need a little privacy. After 1-2 days, and it's like, they haven't even checked in at all.
No, but the dad was like, it's been 4 days and you haven't seen
said
my
anything.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter if they wanted privacy. It's like, after 2 days, you should be like, we should probably send somebody to check for them.
24 hours.
Yeah.
And 2 days is stretching it. I would say 24 hours.
I would say for him, it would be logical for him to be like, okay, we haven't heard from her in 2 days. Now we need to call. 24 hours, different.
Okay.
I'm going with the cops or whatever, because
yeah,
they didn't look for her or do anything. MVPs.
Grandma, I guess. I don't know. The mayor, the people who finally decided to pay up for all the great service that he did to this community. I don't know.
I'm actually going with Chord on this one because he owned the business, even though he's not a great businessman. He's really good at being like a charismatic human being, in allowing all of these people into his life and helping them with their problems, and like trying to get Lindsay back on her feet, even when she's an amnesiac. Like, yeah.
They never solve her amnesia, do they?
I mean, it just
sort of happens.
She's gonna 50 first dates the rest of her life. She's gonna constantly be learning new things about her past. They're gonna have a little tape for her to watch every single day.
So Jake, not really Chord, but Jake.
Right. I mean, I'm going with Chord Overstreet and Lindsay Lohan.
The actors or the characters?
Both. But both. They're having a great little Christmas love story. Love that for them. Lindsay's back. She picked a great starting movie. A forgiving starting movie too. I think she was allowed to just go back and have fun. And do like goofy physical comedy and do a cute little romance. And oh my gosh, Chord, what can I say? He delivered. He was gorgeous.
And honestly,
and we breathed the same air before.
Yes,
so.
You did.
Yeah.
Can I revise my LVP?
Sure.
I would like to say that is the editor.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
The acting I thought was fine, especially for a
Yeah.
Christmas movie. I was actually kind of impressed. Normally it's like way worse. This was like pretty solid for Christmas movies.
I think that's why the Netflix Christmas movies for me are a little better than Hallmark. It's the same genre, but like they're almost a little kookier, and they'll have slightly
Better
like the
acting.
actors. Maybe they're being paid more. I don't know. They're just. It seems like they're having more
Probably.
fun, and they're like having a good time. When sometimes when someone's in a Hallmark movie, I'm like, oh baby, you know. But like when they're in a Netflix movie, I'm like, get that bag, you know.
Now they just need to up the budget on the post end of things.
Yeah.
No more continuity errors.
Pay
That's just
your editor, pay your post team more. Okay. Allocate more of the budget to that. That's what we're saying.
Bigger budget in post means you can fix all of your continuity errors.
Crunch.
Yep. I was wondering if you guys could hear that.
You can follow Gleeboot on Gleeboot Pod at Tumblr,
Gleeboot Pod on
Gleeboot
Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter, who knows? It'll be up there. We don't really even use it, but it's up there if you want to follow us for fun. And then we're gleebootpod.tumblr.com on Tumblr, which is probably where Twitter people will exist.
Yeah.
They're already migrating.
The Great Migration. You can follow me on Instagram, Cullen Ever After.
And you can follow me on Instagram at a.m.swearingen.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Whatever holidays you celebrate, have a wonderful time.
Or if you don't celebrate the holidays, hopefully you get some vacation.
Have fun, you know?
Yeah, have a good time.
Drink a bottle of wine.
Drink a bottle of wine, watch Fallen for Christmas.
You don't even have to have fun. You can just relax.
Hate watch Falling for Christmas if you're really into continuity. Here's what I'm going to say. I think it's a pretty watchable Christmas movie, and this is coming from someone who hates Christmas movies. So don't think about it too much, and you might have an okay time.
Yeah, like when I'm watching Elmo Saves Christmas, I'm not putting in my logic brain.
Why are you watching Elmo Saves Christmas?
Honestly,
that's a great question, Alyssa.
A, I have not watched that movie in like since I was a child. But B, if I were to watch it, it's a great flick from what I remember.
Gotcha.
Telly wishes for world peace. Zoe loves her bracelets. But Elmo learns that every day can't be Christmas because then it wouldn't be special.
I see.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
Yeah, I think I cried as a kid watching it, but you know, it was good. It's good for me. Well, tune in next week for the final episode of the season 6 plot of Glee. I think it's called We Built This Glee Club.
There's only one more episode left in season 6 of Glee.
There's 3 episodes left.
Of Glee.
But one is a prologue and one is an epilogue.
Yes.
So there's one plot episode left.
I love that we've had this conversation 3 times.
I mean, to be
fair, I'm blaming it on the wine.
I know we've had this conversation, but I cannot for the life of me remember.
It is confusing. I will get it. It's very confusing.
And I didn't even remember this before the bottle of wine. So I know I'm slurring my words, but you're all just gonna have to be
it's okay. We're at the end of the episode. I mean, how many hours left and you can go to sleep? I mean, you can go to sleep now if you want to, but
I'm supposed to be playing League with my brother, so
that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well,
your brother's gonna be like, wow. She's wild tonight.
Cackle from Melissa.
All right.
On that note, happy holidays. Enjoy your time off with your family if you have time off, if you have family.
Just have a good December. Really have a good December, guys. Vibe it like you're Lindsay Lohan and Chord Overstreet in this movie.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.